and Jay Humphrey are the tackles. Ben Adams and Dan Neal the for the Irish. It'll be Emmett Mosley at a wideout along with Dee Cooper, Malcolm Johnson probably. The tight end is going to be Pete Krplevich. The tackles will be Chris Clevenger and Mike Doughty. Jeremy Akers back at offensive left guard. Mike Rosenthal make that left guard. Mike Rosenthal at right guard. Rick Kaczynski will be the center. Ron Paulus, of course, is the quarterback. Jamie Spencer will start in place of Mark Edwards, who missed a couple of 3 days of practice this week with a knee injury. Spencer, a 245-pound sophomore out of Monroe, Louisiana. But Mark Edwards will play this afternoon. And, of course, we'll have Autry Denton at tailback. Randy Kinder is also back, the senior from East Lansing, Michigan. He will see action at tailback along with Robert Farmer. Meanwhile, the Texas Longhorns, they will start Curtis Jackson and Mike Adams at the wideouts. Octavius Bishop and Jay Humphrey are the tackles. Ben Adams and Dan Neal the guards. Ryan Feeberger is the center. Pat Fitzgerald has caught 3 touchdown passes last year against Notre Dame, is the tight end. James Brown, the aforementioned quarterback. Ricky Williams and Sean Mitchell are the running backs. So there you have the Prime Star starting lineups for today's game. And right now, the band on the field, and you can hear it in the background, the eyes of Texas are upon you. The kickoff is next, right after this, for Buick. And a reminder, at the end of today's game, we'll announce our Prime Star of the game. Tony Roberts, Tom Pagna, Paul Horning. Jam-packed Texas Stadium, 75,000, largest seating capacity of all the stadiums in the newly formed Big 12. And again, in case you missed the first part of our broadcast, we had really a heavy thunderstorm here last night in some areas just north and I guess it was west of here. They had some tornado sightings, big heavy rain, but the field is very dry today, and it's really a very, very comfortable day for the fans and the players as well. We have not as yet had that searing heat that we expected, that heat and humidity here at Texas Stadium. So the Irish in their mustard-colored pants, the white jerseys, the navy blue numerals, the gold helmets. Texas, of course, in the white pants, the burnt orange jerseys, the white numerals, the white helmets with the Texas deer on the side. The captains right now are meeting at midfield. We've had the toss of the coin, and what happened?
I believe that Notre Dame deferred, Texas will receive.
Well, and then it's going to be the Irish muscle against the Longhorn speed.
Tony, I am, we think we see a spectacle every time we do a home game at Notre Dame, but Texas is sure going out of their way. Maybe this is a normal staple for them. It's colorful.
But, of course, this is a really huge game, and this game is tantamount to what the visit to Notre Dame to Ohio Stadium was a year ago when they played the Buckeyes.
Good comparison.
They're making this game bigger than it really is.
Well, that's true, but you can't go undefeated if you lose one along the way.
I understand that. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, unless this thing winds up at a tie, and that shouldn't happen because we now have the tiebreaker.
I'm sure people that are listening into us can hear the crowd in the background. They'll have some kind of an idea. This stadium is rocking.
But this is when Lou Holt's teams have generally, in the 11 years that he's been coach at Notre Dame, have been their best. Some of their biggest victories have come in hostile environments.
True. I tell you what, you get Willie Nelson down there to sing the national anthem, you got a little something for everybody. Well, Bevo for the Cowboys is standing over in the far corner, a steer of considerable size.
One thing about Bevo, they can't suit him up, Coach.
Yeah, that's right.
They can't suit him up.
Good point.
Closest thing to Bevo ran here a long time ago, and that was Earl Campbell.
Yeah, he was a raging bull.
I wonder if they're going to... I think I'm doing the Texas-Colorado game up at Boulder Town, and I'm kind of wondering if they're going to have Bevo beat Ralphie.
Yeah, against the Buffalo.
The Buffalo.
It'd be like the knights that joust. You get on one end, I'll get on the other, and we'll charge one another. Well, here we're about ready for the kickoff.
Well, if they were to meet, would you call it a scuffalo?
Trouble, I think. Trouble.
All right. Again, a reminder that at the end of today's game, we'll also have our tough Acton-Tenacton play of the game. And last week, it was a piece of cake for Tom Pagna because it was the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that's right. A beautiful run back by Alan Rosman.
So the Longhorns are going to receive. Curtis Jackson over on the far side for Texas. And over on the near side for the Longhorns, you got Mike Scarborough. Scarborough, a sophomore out of Sugar Land, Texas. The run-up and the kick by Sanson coming down deep, deep, deep. It'll be taken, and stepping out of the end zone and the end line is Curtis Jackson, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. So a big kick by Jimmy Sanson, and Texas will start from the 20. You don't want to see these guys get a running start, Tom.
Well, Notre Dame had the right idea. They deferred. They could have received it, but they decided they have a little wind at their back. That kid can really put leg into it. Now Texas got the long way to go, and the best suit for Notre Dame is on the field right now, their defense.
All right, James Brown, 55% completion percentage, 238 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, longest toss 40 yards. One back offense, slot to the left, play as fake, back 5-yard line, fires the pass, that's caught at the 35-yard line, up to the 40 and knocked out at the 42. It'll be a gain of 22 yards on the play.
Tony, you're going to see that most of the day if they have success. They just picked up a quick 22 yards. The concept was run fake into the middle, hold the linebackers, drive off deep with the wide receivers, curl somebody in that intermediate zone.
And they went to their big play receiver, Michael Adams. That's his 8th catch of the year. He now has 133 yards. He's been averaging 16 yards a catch. Against Notre Dame last year, he caught 5 for 141 yards. Brown back to throw once again. Pressure's on. Fires the pass. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end. Now check that. Not the tight end on the play, but Matt Davis, the senior out of Fort Worth, Texas, a wide receiver. And James Brown took a little bit of a pop when he released the football. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And the best way to contain James Brown, Tom, put pressure on him.
Absolutely the best pass defense there is. One of the things they do, Texas, even though it appears they have 2 backs in their backfield, the one is like a halfback, very wide towards a double receiver side. So actually it could be wind up 3 receivers to that side, a split end away from it.
Adams in the slot over on the far side. They line up in an I tandem with Ricky Williams as the up-back and fullback. Here's the toss, the sweep to the left side. Notre Dame's penetration and forced out of bounds is a penalty marker on the play, or is there? Priest Holmes, a senior out of San Antonio, Texas. And let's see if Notre Dame is going to get called for a personal foul here.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, 5-yard penalty and a first down. That ball is going to be brought up to about the 46 or 47-yard line.
That was the only run play they've tried so far, and it was into the tight end, the short side of the field, out of the I formation. And normally speaking, the tight end commands respect in the running game. If they don't have the tight end in tight, then chances are it's strictly pass, for instance, like right now.
Well, the official said first down, but the yard marker shows 2nd, and so does the scoreboard. Here's the handoff once again, and trying to get through and not able to do so is the tailback, Priest Holmes, and he is tripped up. Kennan Tatum was the man who got a hold of the face mask in front of the Texas bench. So the gain is going to be a couple. It's going to be 3rd down and, about 4 yards to go for a first down.
The official, Tony, misspoke because it isn't an automatic first down with a face mask unless it's a 15-yarder.
So now it is 3rd down and about 4 to go for the first down. They come out of the I. Priest Holmes at left halfback. Slot to the right, wide out to the left. Brown with a deep drop, fires over the middle, got the first down, and the pass is caught. It'll be down to the 45 of the Irish. Pat Fitzgerald. He's a 228-pound senior from Aurora, California. Had a whale of a game against Notre Dame last year at South Bend, and he takes that little slant pass and takes it for a first down to the 45.
You notice how delayed that was, Tony. What they're trying to do, they anticipate that Notre Dame will stay pretty much in zone types of coverage. So they're driving people off, they're running deep, and they're dragging delayed receivers underneath. That's their style.
Corey Minor and Burt Berry get up on the line of scrimmage, and so does Jarvis Edison. One back offense, tight end to the left, and Brown back to throw. Got the time, fires the pass near side, and out of bounds. Hit made by Allen Rossum, and a penalty marker on the play.
They may have He may have received some contact off the playing field. He was on the sideline.
Alan Rossum makes the hit. There's going to be a penalty against the Irish. The pickup will be about 10 yards for the first down. They'll tack on another 15.
Yes, you can hear the reaction of the crowd. Now, James Brown has looked very, very good on the first 3 or 4 passes he's thrown in that. They're all on timing.
Right.
He's 1, 2, 3, step and throw, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and throw.
The ball to be brought down to the 19-yard line of Notre Dame, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Texas Longhorns. The drive began at the Texas 20.
Personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Now this is, Tony, where Notre Dame, in the little checker game or chess game they're playing, which every football game is, the defensive coordinator's got to say, okay, well, someplace in here we have to sell out, go to man-to-man coverage, try to get heat. Now, it appears to me the way they're lined up now, there's going to be double free safety, but man underneath coverage. There'll be man-to-man underneath.
John Mitchell is in the game for Priest Holmes. Mike Adams and Matt Davis went wide to the right. Now Texas rehuddling once again. Bieberger, the center, is out over the football at the 19. Priest Holmes has returned to the lineup. Handoff on the counter off the left side, and Sean Mitchell make that Ricky Williams inside the 15 down to the 14. He'll pick up 5 yards and a quick hitter.
That was a little fake pitch, kind of a reverse pivot where you fake the pitch and then underneath handoff to the fullback, and he had a head of steam plus a pretty decent hole. Second and about 4, I believe.
Again, Adams wide to the right, a senior out of Arlington, Texas. Davis goes to the slot. Curtis Jackson out to the left. Mitchell alone running back. Tight end to the left side. Play action fake. Adams make that Brown rolling out to the right, being chased, fires a pass, and it's almost picked off. Got right by a Johnny Sanders, who stepped in front of the intended receiver down around the goal line. Matt Davis at about the 1 or 2 yard line. But a good job pressuring James Brown, and Alton Maiden was out there to make sure that James Brown did not turn the ball upfield.
The thing about James Brown is he is very quick afoot and a pretty decent runner. They don't like to run him. He doesn't care to run. So he waited until the last minute, but he was on the dead run trying to make that throw. A big third down for Texas and Notre Dame.
Garrett Coleman in the game as the fullback, offset to the right. Third down about 4.5. Handoff up the middle. Down to the 10, down to the 5. First down and goal to go. John Mitchell, the senior out of Austin, Texas. Tackled by Burt Berry, and Texas has it first down and goal to go at the Irish 4.5-yard line.
Well, Texas guessed right. They figured that the Irish were getting a little antsy and they were going to blitz, and they absolutely caught them in the perfect play. Not only did LaRon Cobbins blitz off the right side, the play hit underneath him, behind him, and there was an obvious big hole, not because of blocking, because of the blitz away from it.
Matt Davis goes to the far side, Curtis Jackson to the near. One back offense. First and goal, handoff, and Mitchell gets down to about the 3-yard line as the stop. Check that, Ricky Williams, as the stop is made by Melvin Dansby, the senior tackle out of Birmingham. Defensively, the Irish, the down linemen are Ronaldo Wynn, Alton Maiden, Melvin Dansby. Burt Berry is the rush end. The linebackers, LaRon Cobbins, Kinnan Tabin, and Corey Minor. The cornerbacks are Ivory Covington and Alan Rossum, with Johnny Sanders and Jarvis Edison are the safeties. This is the 10th play coming up in this drive. Second and goal at the Notre Dame 3.
Watch out to Texas left side.
Williams, the lone running back, blocked. Pass to the far side. The pass blocked. Michael Adams for a touchdown. Michael Adams beating Alan Rossum for the score. 3-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Michael Adams. 80 yards, 10 plays, Texas out in front on its first possession.
Let me just try to analyze something for you on this last play. The ball was on the left hash mark. They put a wide receiver to the right, a tight end, and a wingback to the left. That is to give him backside protection. He had one receiver, one guy against one guy, and ran that over-the-shoulder route for a touchdown.
Bill Dawson for the point after the snap, the spot, the kick. It's up and it's good. 7-0, Texas Longhorns. Timeout. Now this for Sylvania Lighting. The 3-yard touchdown pass by James Brown gives him 35 career TD passes. He now needs 3 to pass Peter Gardere and move to the top of Texas's all-time list. Meanwhile, those 3 yards to Adams in the end zone helps him move past Shea Morant in the 3rd place on the all-time passing yards list. So Mr. Brown got a twofer.
Two for one. Mike Adams, incidentally, I mentioned OS, over the shoulder. It's kind of an out of bounds. Keep it away from everybody. It's either a complete or it's thrown away. Had a lot of room to work with. He hugged the inside of the field, kept his defender looking towards the goalpost, then made it when he made his break. And a perfect throw by James Brown.
Well, it will not be Alan Rossum because he was on defense for those 10 plays. It'll be Emmett Mosley to return the kick against the Texas Longhorns. He returned a punt last year for a touchdown. But Emmett is down around the 4-yard line. So an 80-yard drive in 10 plays puts Texas out in front with 11 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's the run-up and the kick. It is high. It is coming down short. It's going to be taken at about the 23, getting up to the 25. The 28 is Kenny Berry, and Kenny Berry gets up to about the 33-yard line, but there are 2 penalty markers on the play back at about the 25 or 26-yard line. Maybe a block in the back against Notre Dame.
What's interesting, Tony, is because there is a wind, and it's prevalent, and they were kicking into the wind, they knew that they weren't going to be able to put it deep enough into the end zone, so they favored a side. You saw them shift just before the kickoff, and most of the people running down under the kickoff favored the left side, which is where he placed the ball.
Another penalty against Notre Dame, the 3rd of the first quarter, and that's going to put the Irish in a bit of a hole, brings the ball back to the 16-yard line.
Back on the receiving team during the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
You could hear the referee yelling it out, a push in the back by one of the offensive players for Notre Dame on the kicking game. It's easy to do. They've taken the clip out of the game. They've taken the throw below the waist or below the knees, but you still get pushes.
Johnson and Mosley out to the left. Autry Denson at tailback. Spencer at fullback. Here's a toss to Denson. Penalty marker on the play, and Denson doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Now, I don't know. He stopped running. I don't know if the play was dead or not.
I think he stopped on the whistle. They had a play pretty well blocked off tackle. It looked pretty cleanly blocked to me, but the whistle stopped it.
False start on the offense.
Yeah, there was movement.
Still first down.
I believe it was movement in the offensive line that stopped the play.
Well, Jamie Spencer is coming out, and Mark Edwards is coming in as the ball is walked back to the 11-yard line.
Mark Edwards, of course, hadn't practiced all week long. He's got a sore knee.
That's 4 penalties against the Irish, and we haven't played 5 minutes yet, Coach.
Yeah, well, that's the tale of an away game and the tale of a home game.
Notre Dame now going to the double slot with Edwards as the lone running back. Irish showing double slot on first down and 15. Hand off to Edwards, finds a little room, gets past the 10, and fights his way up to about the 13 or 14-yard line. He'll get back about 4 yards of that penalty. That's going to make it second down and 11 to go from the 14-yard line. Defensively, Gray Mosier, Chris Akins, and Clarence Martin, the 3 down linemen for Texas. Matt Jones and Jonathan Hickerson are the outside linebackers. Kyle Richardson and Tyson King inside. The deep backs, Bryant Westbrook, Taji Allen are the corners. Trey Thomas and Chris Carter are the safeties. Second down at about 12. Paulus from the shotgun. Looks left, throws right, pass caught. Drive by Johnson, and Johnson's going to get hit up around the 15-yard line. That pass darn near got picked off, Coach. But Johnson made the catch, made an inside move. They managed to pick up 1 yard. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Well, they went to a double slot with shotgun where Paulus is back. About the only thing you can do is hand it to the fullback or throw the ball. And one of the secondaries, or one of the Texas strengths is their secondary.
Their secondary is so quick, they can afford to gamble.
There's double slot again with a single back, so you'll see cover 4 by their secondary.
Again, Paulus from the shotgun formation. 3rd down, 11. Takes the snap, drops back to throw, pressured pass, incomplete. Off the hands of Autry Denson, but Paulus got decked. There may be a roughing call against the Texas Longhorns.
If so, Tony, and I believe that's exactly what it's been called, that you'll get an automatic first down out of this.
Tyson King is the guilty party. And obviously the first Texas penalty does not set well with the Longhorn fans.
Well, Notre Notre Dame needed that break, and it is indeed a break. Otherwise, it's 3 and out.
So they'll walk it upfield. It'll be Notre Dame with a first down, and the ball will be marked at about...
Roughing the passer on the defense. Previous spot. First down.
So the ball will be put at the 31 and make that the 30.5 yard line.
The call was indeed roughing the passer after the ball had left us. After he has thrown it, you can't touch him.
First and 10 at the 30.5. Edwards and Denson, the I tandem. Hand off Edwards off the right side, and he puts his head down and bowls his way for about 5 up to the 36-yard line. Second down and 5 for the Irish. At the bottom of the pile, Trey Thomas, the strong safety, a senior from Sugar Land, Texas.
Now that doesn't look like a very fancy play. It's a reverse pivot, a handoff to the fullback who goes off tackle. They block head on hat, and it just meted out 6 yards. And anytime you can command 6 yards of play, you're in good shape.
Second down and 5. Spencer in the game at fullback. Edwards out. Slot to the right, tight end to the left side. Paulus turns around, gives it to Denson, looking for a little running room, sneaks through, gets past the 40 up to about the 41-yard line, very close to a first down.
Remember, again, I said at the beginning of the game when we were talking, Tony, a year ago the difference was Texas could not turn off the run game of Notre Dame, nor could they run the ball against Notre Dame. If they were going to try to win today, they had to change those kinds of things. In 2 plays by Mark Edwards and Autry Denson, they picked up running a first down.
Well, they'll measure for it, but I believe you're absolutely right, Tom. From where the ball had been spotted the first time, this should be a first down, and it, I believe, is. First and 10, Notre Dame at the 40.5-yard line by the tip of the football. So the Irish are ready. Texas's 80-yard drive was aided by 3 Notre Dame penalties. Irish making some last-second substitutions here. Takia Champion has come into the game. Spencer is out.
It'll be a double flanker with a double tight end.
Up now, Champion steps up on as a split end on the left side. Play action fake. Paulus looking right, throws to Edwards out of the backfield into Texas territory and dragged down at about the 47-yard line. It'll be a first down. So Mark Edwards, who suffered that knee injury last week in the game against Purdue, did not practice that much this week, comes out of the backfield and takes Paulus's throw, and it's enough for a first down to pick up a 12.
Mentioning again Mark Edwards, Tony, as you just did, he didn't practice Monday, Tuesday, and very little on Wednesday. He's got a very sore knee, but where they really, really miss him is in the run game because he's a great lead blocker. I knew he wasn't going to start, but I don't think you're going to get him out of there once he gets warmed up.
Edwards offset to the left. Denson the tailback. Mosley in the slot. Johnson wide to the left. Triplevitz the tight end is to the right. Paulus on first down at the Texas 47-yard line. Longhorns lead 7-0. Quick toss left side. Denson looking for an opening. Gets to the 40-yard line. Still on his feet. Spinning and gets down to about the 36 or 37. And he may have enough for a first down. And the Irish look like they're starting to exert some of that muscle, Tom.
Yes. As a matter of fact, every run play they've had except for their first one was a very positive play. That time, they ran what amounts to a fullback toss, even though Autry Denson came out of that deep back spot into a slot. So the slot drives off, you lead the near back, and Autry Denson, once he's got a lead blocker, is very dangerous.
Kinder in the game for the first time this year, Tom, at tailback. Kinder and Spencer, the I tandem. Champion stays in as the slot man on the right side. Hand off to Kinder off the right side, and Kinder gets inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line.
Well, I think far and away Randy Kinder's got the most breakaway speed of anybody on the squad. He hasn't played. This is his first play, as Tony mentioned, really this season because of injury. But if you can get him romping, or get a little daylight, he is a bolt of lightning.
3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7. The ball inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Second down, 7 to go. Kinder with 9 touchdowns last year. Averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Counter Trey. Kinder left side. Kinder 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to about the 5-yard line. Almost made it all the way.
Well, that's that breakaway speed we talked about. Both Autry Denson and Randy Kinder have it. They have to have a little daylight to spring, and he certainly did.
So Randy Kinder has put Notre Dame down at the 5.5-yard line where it's first down and goal to go Irish.
And again, now Texas knows that they haven't got the muscle to stand in there defensively against the ground game inside the 10. So I think he'll see here submarines, veers, pinches, anything to disrupt.
And off Kinder off the right side, stumbles through the hole, gets inside the 5 down to about the 3. Picked up about 2.5 or 3 yards where it'll be second down and goal to go. Kinder a year ago had almost a 6-yard average. Leading ground gainer the last 2 years, despite the fact that he's missed about 10 games. He has come to the sideline, and right now it's going to be Spencer and Mark Edwards.
Mark Edwards at the tailback slot.
Now this is the 10th play in this drive. Again, double tight end, wingman on the left side, Emmett Mosley. Hand off Edwards, and Edwards fights and gets inside maybe about the 2-yard line. Looked like the handoff was botched on that play, Tom, because Edwards never really got going.
Yeah, you know, other than the fact he hasn't practiced much, he certainly hasn't practiced much from the tailback spot. I'm surprised they put him in there for that.
And Jamie Spencer comes up hobbling, and he's hopping off the field on one leg. Tell you what, he's a pretty good hopscotch player.
Yeah, we could very likely see a little bit of Joey Goodspeed today because he's the third fullback.
Well, right now they're going with Denson and Edwards. This is the key play in this game. Third down goal to go from the 2 for Notre Dame. Down by 7.
Watch Mark Edwards. Wherever he goes, he'll lead you to the ball.
Play action fake. Lofting the pass. End zone. Incomplete. Not a good pass by Ron Paulus.
Well, that was
intended for the tight end, Pete Kriplevich.
That was going to be a little slow block, I think, and then the fullback was going to drag underneath the tight end, and he'd have a choice, but overthrown.
Here's an early decision by Coach Lou Holtztown. They're going for it.
Yeah, I think I would, Tony. It's early in the game.
And if you don't make it, they're down at the 2.
Sure. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Early in the game.
And Texas is going to call a timeout. So Notre Dame forces Texas to call a timeout, trailing 7-0. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. Well, the Irish are knocking on the door. They're at the 2.5-yard line of the Texas Longhorns. And now they are decided they're going to send in Jimmy Sampson and try for the field goal. Sampson's field goal will be a 20-yard attempt from just about the middle of the playing field.
As much as they would like to have scored a full touchdown there, Tony, maybe their second thoughts made them say, well, let's take the 3 while we're down there. But I wouldn't have been critical of any choice they made, whether you went for it in the first quarter or not. Because as you point out, if you miss it, then you take over the ball on your own 2-yard line.
Sampson made 33 and 32-yard field goals against Vanderbilt, missed a 30-yarder against Purdue. This will come from the middle of the playing field. Hunter Smith is the holder. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Irish, with a 20-yard field goal by Sampson, respond to the Texas touchdown, but they still find themselves in arrears by 4. It is 7-3.
Well, nobody stopped anybody so far. We've had 2 long drives.
Obviously, the key play in that drive time, at least when they got down the first down and goal to go, was second down with Mark Edwards moving the tailback because they got nothing on that play.
Yes, and Autry Denson has got much more experience down there, and he's not injured. Also, a key play in that drive was the roughing the passer on Texas, which kept the ball in the hands of the Irish.
82 yards on 11 plays. And the Irish come up with 3. On our Courtyard by Marriott scoreboard, Penn State out in front of Temple, 10-0. That game at Philadelphia, first quarter of play. Virginia Tech leading Rutgers 7-0. That game down at Blacksburg. The first quarter score, Virginia 10, Wake Forest nothing. And here it is 7-3 with 5:27 left to go. And the Texas Longhorns about to get the football for the second time.
Now again, Sampson's got the wind at his back. You can see the flags as we look at him. So last time he got it about 8 yards deep in the end zone. Texas never had a chance to return.
Jackson on the far side, Scarborough on the near. And the run-up and the boot. Coming on down toward Jackson will take it in the end zone about 5 yards deep, and Texas will bring it out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Longhorns at the 20.
James Brown on that first drive, 10 plays for 80 yards, 4 for 6 he hit. And he was right on the money. Very accurate throwing.
Joel Myers and Fran Kersey are camped in Tempe, Arizona for tonight's game between number 1 Nebraska and number 17 Arizona State. 9:45 Eastern Daylight. That's our airtime. Ricky Williams in the backfield along with Sean Mitchell. Slot right eye tandem. Play action fake. Back to throw. Brown fires the pass. Caught up by Pat Fitzgerald. And it'll be enough for a first down. His second catch up around the 39-yard line.
James Brown doesn't have much time, really. He took a hammer that time after he released the ball, but he was looking for his receiver. There's an intermediate one at about 10 yards and another about 17 yards down the field. He caught that right over the middle of the field. It was good for 19.
Adams comes out to the near side. Going out to the far is Curtis Jackson with Davis in the slot. The tight end is to the left. One running back, Ricky Williams. Pass to the near side. It's caught. Grabbed by Adams, and Adams is hit as he ran the slant toward the middle of the field, his 4th catch, and he is down at about the 44-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
That little play, Tony, had all the wrinkles of a screen. What they're trying to do is get the ball in the hands of Mike Adams because he's such, quotation marks, magic with the ball in his hands.
6 out of 8, 67 yards. Last year against Notre Dame, Brown was 19 of 33, 326 yards, 4 touchdowns, but was intercepted twice. 2nd and 4. Handoff near side. Ricky Williams to the 50. In Notre Dame territory, down to about the 47. Corey Minor making the tackle on the play along with Ivory Covington. But Williams, who is called a little Earl Campbell, has just bowled his way for a Texas first down to the Irish 47, a pickup of 8.
They were running out of the divided backs. That winds up being kind of a sweep into the split end, and they broke the hole clean. I'd hate to have to make an open field tackle on a guy that's got that kind of shake and bake.
Just inside the 48-yard line of the Irish. Adams goes to the right, Davis in the slot. Flexed out to the left is Curtis Jackson. Brown splits his backs. Handoff coming off the left side at the 50-yard line, and Kennan Tatum is right there to put the hit on Ricky Williams.
Tell you what, LaRon Cobbins, Kennan Tatum,
yep.
They're two really tremendous linebackers. They're where the money is, where the ball is.
Maybe a loss on the play, one of the few negative plays that Texas has had in the first quarter with 3.5 left to go. Loss of about 1.5 yards. So it is 2nd down. Let's call it about 12. Adams goes out to the right. He'll be covered by Allen Rawson. Jackson is out to the left. One back offense. Play action fake. Brown throwing to the near side. Got a man open. Incomplete. Pass on the near side was intended for Curtis Jackson, a 190-pound senior split end from Plano, Texas. Jarvis Edison covering on the play. Texas, 1 for 2. Check that. Make it 2 for 2 on 3rd down. And right now they're looking at 3rd down and about a dozen.
He's going to put the ball in the air. I don't think they'll run a draw. They haven't had that much success running. But the formation will be one that will protect one side or the other of him because he's got to throw the ball fairly deep to get the 12-yard gain here.
Adams, Davis in the slot to the right. Jackson out to the left. From the eye. And a penalty marker on the play. And let's see if it's going to be, was it Jay Humphreys who made a move?
I saw movement on both sides, but
LaRon Cobbins was ready to come on the blitz. Start is going to be the call against Texas, and that's going to bring the ball back to the Longhorn 45.5-yard line.
It'll be almost 3rd and 20, Tony, I believe.
Well, this looks about 3rd down and about 16 or so, Tom, but this is when a lot of teams have burned Notre Dame with 3rd down and long.
That's true. That's true. Now, it's a choice on defense. Do you blitz, go man-to-man? You don't want to do that. You don't want to give anything up, and yet you need the tightest cover. We're going to have double free safety with man underneath coverage. That's what we're going to get here.
3rd down and 16 for the Longhorns. Split backs, flanker right, split end left. Deep drop by James Brown. Looking long over the middle. Capped for a first down at the 30. Nice grab and a great throw by James Brown and a big catch by Curtis Jackson.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was double free safety, man underneath coverage. And what they did was they were running. That wasn't bad coverage at all. But he had the one step. James Brown zeroed in. They picked up 25 yards. You called it, Tony. It seems like Notre Dame's in jeopardy on those third and longs.
And the drive of the Longhorns stays alive and has now reached the Notre Dame 29. Davis in the slot to the right. Scarborough becomes the flanker out to the left, replacing Jackson. One back, Ricky Williams. Brown to throw. Lofts the ball far side. The pass too far. Intended for Davis. And Davis had a step on Ty Good, the defender, for Notre Dame.
James Brown is not off the target that often, and he looks the field over. I'm very, very impressed in the first quarter. He is 7 for 11, has completed passes 7 for 11, 92 yards.
His 19 touchdown passes and 2,400-plus yards last year. Single-season records for a Texas quarterback. Given the time, he'll put the ball right on the money. Williams in the backfield along with Sean Mitchell. They line up in a pro set. Irish coming on the blitz. Yes. Brown back to throw. Got the time over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Jackson, who knifed over from the right side, ran the post, and it was just a little bit high for Curtis Jackson.
Tony, you could not have called a more perfect play on offense against the defense they were in. Notre Dame blitz, they're in man-to-man coverage. The blitz got picked up, which means now the guy that's in defense against the pass receiver has got to chase him all over the field. He had an inside route. Only the pass was off for Texas.
Lamont Bryant is coming to the game. Penalty marker on the play. Sweep to the right side by Brown. Brown inside the 20, inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. He should have a first down if the play holds up. Penalty marker thrown at the 30-yard line. Motion is the call against Texas.
Well, that'll nullify that great gain.
15-yard gain is going to be nullified. And that's going to bring the ball back to the Notre Dame 34-yard line.
So it'll be about 3rd and 15, I think.
We've got 7 penalties so far in this first quarter, Tom. 4 against the Irish, 3 against Texas.
They just brought in a couple of tight ends, which means maximum protection. They probably want to give him every blocking surface they can, zero in on 1 or possibly 2 receivers.
To the right, Jackson in the slot. Michael Adams, very, very dangerous. Derek Lewis at tight end in on the left side. Fitzgerald at tight end right. Play action fake. Brown rolls out to the right. Fires the pass far side. It is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Allen Rossum.
Well, that's the first poor choice that James Brown made. He threw right into what amounted to a double coverage. There was a man in front of him and a man in back of the receiver. I don't know why he chose to throw it there.
Allen Rossum appeared to have it for just a moment, stepped in front of the intended receiver, leaped high in the air, but just couldn't hold on to it as he came down. And now with 4th down coming up, Mark Schultes, a 200-pound junior from Sherman, same town that Hunter Smith comes from.
Well, this is the kind of punt that if you want to play a game with it, have a little run or a throw off of it, this is the place on the field you might want to do it. Either that or the little pooch punt, try to get it out of bounds.
With the score, 7-3, Texas. Timeout. Now this for State Farm. 1-5-0, a minute and 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Dominated by Texas. Longhorns out in front by a score of 7-3. The drive stymied by penalties with 4th down and 15 at the Notre Dame 34-yard line. Mark Schultes, a junior from Sherman, Texas, in the punt. And he has just gotten better every season while a member of the Texas Longhorns special teams.
I was watching him warm up, Tony, in the pregame, and the way he holds it, he angles the ball. If he wants to kick it very high and get a lot of hang time and make an abbreviated punt, which is what this really calls for here, trying to get your guys down and down the football before it crosses the goal line, he's an expert at it. I was really impressed with how consistent he could play with the ball. He can zip it out or lay it up high.
This is his 8th punt of the year. And the opponents have yet to return one of his punts this season. Only 9 of his 51 punts a year ago were returned. Right now, Schultes is standing at the 48-yard line of Notre Dame. The Irish have a double safety. Denson on the far side and Emmett Mosley on the near. They are stationed at the 10-yard line. And looked like they were trying to draw Notre Dame offside, but that didn't work.
Well, it wouldn't. The only thing it does
is the call against Texas.
I was going to say the only thing that it'll do is give him more geography to play with, trying to keep it inside the goal line or outside of the goal line.
Irish will take the penalty, and that ball will be walked back to the 39-yard line of Notre Dame.
Delay on the offense. Still 4th down.
The voice of the referee today, who happens to be Jack Winters. We'll be hearing from Jack throughout the course of the game. Now 4th down at about 19, and the punt. High coming down. Bearcat signal for by Emmett Mosley, but it'll bounce at the 10. Covered, and does it get into the end zone? No. It's down at about the half-yard line. Great job by Texas's team, by their punter, and Notre Dame will take over at its own 1 after a 38-yard punt.
Kind of an oversight by the safety. The safety had every opportunity to step up and catch the ball, Tony. As a matter of fact, they tell you that. Field it in the air. Go ahead and fair catch it. Nobody can get near you. Nobody can disturb you. He elected not to, and of course the forward roll allowed the Texas players to spot it. And that's a dangerous place to be, on your own 1-yard line.
Well, this will be one of the long drives in Notre Dame history if they can pull it off now. 1st down and 10 at the 1. Long running back is Mark Edwards. Ron Paulus with a quarterback sneak, and he moves ahead out to about the 3. So the Irish may get a couple of yards on that play, as just Paulus took the snap from Kaczynski and went right behind Kaczynski, Akers, and Rosenthal to the 3-yard line. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. But right now, the Irish are in harm's way. They're pinned back at their own 3-yard line.
That's right. Any error is magnified inside your own 5.
Rakai Nelson has come in with a play. He lines up as the wide receiver out to the right. Mosley in the slot, goes in motion to the far side. Back to throw, far side. Pass caught by Mosley. Brings it out to about the 15, and Notre Dame's got a 1st down. Nicely designed play, Tom.
Yes, he started off on motion all the way from the right side to the left side, then had a clean break and had a couple of steps. When he caught it, picked up another steps for 13 yards.
A nice throw by Ron Paulus and good protection by the offensive line. So Notre Dame now with some breathing room, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Nelson stays in the game. Meanwhile, Sakia Champion's in the slot on the right side. Kerplevitz, the tight end, is a wide receiver left. Handoff up the right side into the secondary at the 20. Still on his feet is Denson. Denson bellies back, and he fights his way up to about the 24-yard line once again. Well, they'll say he went out of bounds at the 25, so 4 tough yards for Autry Denson, who ran about 20 yards to get that 4. 2nd down and 6. Irish show slot left with the tight end Kerplevitz out to the right. Edwards, the fullback. Denson, the tailback. Paulus waiting for the snap from Kaczynski. Handoff up the middle. Denson fights his way to about the 25-yard line, just short of a 1st down by about a yard or so, as the tackle is made by Gray Mosher, the 270-pounder, a sophomore. And Notre Dame now looking at 3rd down and less than a yard, about 3/4 of a yard to go for a 1st down.
And again, Notre Dame's, you can see their theory is to split out wide on both sides, make you defend as wide of the field as you can, and then that their commanding line will be able to open the holes with the remaining 9 or 8 that defend.
Mosley in to be the flanker to the right. Notre Dame with a double tight end. Handoff right side. Mark Edwards pulls his way, and he's got the 1st down. As time runs out, we've played a quarter with a score. Texas 7, Notre Dame 3. Now this for Prime Star. The Courtyard by Marriott passing efficiency statistics. James Brown for Texas. 7 out of 13, 92 yards. And, of course, the touchdown to Michael Adams. Ron Paulus, 3 out of 4, 27 yards for Notre Dame. The Irish with 7 first downs. Texas with 8. 72 yards on the ground, 27 passing, 99 total. Texas 117 total. First and 10, Notre Dame. Ball at about the 28.5-yard line. Ron Paulus on the handoff then. Oh, big bear hug. That's going to be a negative play for the Irish. It went absolutely nowhere. Randy Kinder just never got to any hole because there wasn't any.
What's difficult to defend, Tony, is when they have a slot to the wide side of the field, the Irish, is to get your eye back behind that slot because they're running people off and it's tough to support. That time, though, Randy Kinder was running right over the middle, which is where it was designed. He's not an inside runner. You get him some free time, some free daylight, he's a speed demon.
Autry Denton now at tailback as Notre Dame's looking at second down at about 10. Mosley from slot right in motion to the near side. Back to throw. Paulus, look, being pressured, throws the ball away. Ron Paulus with heavy pressure threw the football away. So now it's going to be third down and 10 for Notre Dame. We're going to pause for station identification. This is Westwood 1, the home of college football's national championship.
The Yankees purchased the contract of pitcher Dave Island from Columbus. This is WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station.
Tony Roberts, Tom Tagna, and Paul Hornung. And Ron Paulus under duress for about the first time in this game, Coach.
Yeah, they had a little pressure on him that time. Look for him to roll out to the wide side of the field, work one-on-one with a wide receiver.
Malcolm Johnson, that wide receiver near side. Shannon Stevens with a lot of speed also in the game. Pass to Stevens, can't make the play. Moving in, and an excellent defensive play was made by Bryant Westbrook, the senior quarterback out of Oceanside, California.
I believe that's too predictable, Tony, when they have long yardage for the first down to roll him out. He's so much better when you protect him, let him set and pick your eyes out, which he can do.
Well, Michael Adams, who's very dangerous as a punt returner, is deep for the Texas Longhorns at the 33-yard line. And Hunter Smith will be punting for the first time today for Notre Dame.
Hunter's a Texas boy, is he
Yes,
not?
Sherman, Texas. Gets the punt off. High, beautiful spiral. It drives Adams all the way back to about the 18-yard line. Cuts to the right. Gets up to the 25. Gets hit. Still shakes the tackler. And gets pinned to the sideline. And is knocked out of bounds. It is Deke Cooper, the young man out of Evansville, Indiana, a freshman, who has now been turned from a wide receiver into a defensive back. 54-yard punt, 7-yard return. Texas for the ball, first and 10 at the Longhorn 25.
Well, Lou Holtz talked all week about the fact that he knew they were playing from 11 till 2 or 2:30, whatever, and that would be high time for humidity. He's gotten a little break in that it rained last night and that it's overcast now, but I feel now there is a little humidity in the air. This is just the first half, and of course, the first time Texas has had the wind at their back.
Davis in the slot, Adams the wideout, Jackson out to the right. Handoff to the tailback. Mitchell looking for some running room, not going to get it. Jumping at him from behind is Burt Berry to make the stop on the play at the line of scrimmage. Good defense by the Irish. It'll be second down and 10. Pat Fitzgerald comes into the game as Mitchell comes to the sideline.
Well, it appears that Texas is having trouble running the football against Notre Dame. And so that means, of course, they've got the other dimension, which you've got to shut off.
Jackson left, Adams right. Both men are flankers. Double tight end in there for Texas. James Brown back to throw. Under pressure. Pass is caught as he throws up the right side, and the grab is made. Catch is made by Derek Lewis, the tight end on the right side. So, again, Texas goes to its tight end. It's either Pat Fitzgerald or Derek Lewis. And I believe that's his second catch of the day.
Alan Rossum was in defense. I don't know what happened. He got twisted around and turned and slipped. It made it a fairly easy catch.
First and 10, Texas at the 39-yard line. 14-yard pickup on the play. Slot to the left. Dustin Austin is in the game as a slot receiver. Quick toss left side. Ricky Williams to the 40 and gets up to about the 42, 43-yard line. He'll get about 3 or 4 on the play, and that'll leave it at second down and about 6.5 to go for a first down.
Now, Ricky Williams, one of the few people that's on this Texas squad that is not from Texas. He's from San Diego, California. He's big as running backs go, 6 foot, 220-pound sophomore.
Armstrong out, and Curtis Jackson back in at wide receiver for the Longhorns. It'll be second down and about 7 to go for a first down. Adams out to the right. Jackson wide to the left. Fitzgerald, the tight end, in the slot. Brown back to throw. Fires the pass near side. It's caught. And getting away is Williams, 50, down to the Notre Dame 45-yard line at a first down. LaRon Cobbins had a beat on him but could not bring him down. Williams wins that battle, and the Texas drive is now at the Notre Dame 45.
Not often did you see LaRon Cobbins miss a tackle, but that was costly because it kept the drive alive, gave them momentum, and a first down.
Penn State 17, Temple nothing, second quarter. Virginia Tech 14, Rutgers nothing, end of the first. Virginia 13, they play Texas next week. Wake Forest nothing in the second. Ohio State 7, Pittsburgh nothing in the first. No score, Alabama at Arkansas. Off the right side and driving again is Ricky Williams as he pulls the defender over. He gets down to the Irish 35. He's picked up 9 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
Well, the previous play, not that one, the one before where the tight end caught the ball, was good for 13 yards. This time, they made it look like it was going to be a flip left and slip the ball underneath to the fullback. It's twice they've run that. It resembles a counter, kind of like a counter draw, and he sneaked through for a good and sizable gain.
The Texas drive began at the Longhorn 25. It has reached the Notre Dame 36. Second down a yard. Williams and Priest Holmes, the I tandem. Handoff Williams, right side, up the middle, first down, still on his feet. Penalty marker on the play, and he drives inside the 30 down to about the Irish 26 or 27-yard line.
I'm not sure, Tony. I might get a chance to see it on a replay, but it seemed to me that...
holding is the call against Texas.
I was going to say, it seemed to me they false pulled a guard, and every once in a while a team will gamble and do that. They'll pull a guard in the hopes that you'll follow it, and that leaves a natural hole.
Texas leads 7-3.
On the offense, repeat, second down.
And the Longhorns also leading penalties 5-4.
Go ahead.
So instead of second down and a yard, or a first down, it's second down and about 9.
And I was going to say, from that down and distance, this is pass down. And so Notre Dame ought to get in their best possible pass defense. It looks to me like it might be double free safety.
And it's a double tight end as well. Brown throws out to the near side. They're going to throw a pass back to the quarterback, and it is caught by Brown down to the 40. Breaks inside the 35 and dives down to about the 31. But there's another penalty marker on the play.
Well, that was a very dangerous play. The first one
That's with the Matt Davis.
Had to be a lateral.
It had to be a lateral. Now the question is, was it a lateral? Penalty markers all the way on the far side of the field at the 46-yard line.
Still no indication as to who is to blame. What side?
It's going to be against Texas.
That was going to be, a quick lateral, wide out lateral, and then everybody draws to that, and instead of throwing downfield, he was going to throw back to the quarterback.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Illegal motion, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So it'll be second down with about 14 and a half yards to go for a first down. The ball is, the length of the football is on the Notre Dame side of the 50-yard line.
Now, judging from the time they took in the huddle, this too is a pass.
Davis and Scarborough, the wideouts to the far side. The backs are split. Mitchell left, Williams right. Davis to the near side. Handoff cut back over the middle by Sean Mitchell. Finds a little opening, and then it closes because the linebackers are up there, and he is dropped after a 2-yard gain to the 48.
I guess it should have been a pass for them. It wasn't, but it should have been.
Third down and 12 and a half to go for a first down. Deveron Harper comes in, and going out of the game for Notre Dame is Corey Bennett.
I think this is a really key third down. I mean, as big as there's going to be in this game, because they're in Notre Dame territory. Notre Dame seems a little bit sluggish. They've got to stop this drive right here.
Well, Adams out there on covers with Alan Rossum.
Shotgun.
Back to throw. Adams over the middle. The pass is caught by Adams. Got a first down. Got the inside move and got it down to the 30-and-a-half-yard line.
Jim Brown's like a gunfighter back there. Mr. Cool. He surveyed the entire field. He caught Adams on a square in, and let's face it, Makovich's pro career is evidenced here. They knew exactly how far they had to go, and that's where he squared in at.
First and 10 at the Irish 31-yard line, a pickup of 17 yards. And Texas has put tremendous amount of offensive pressure on the Notre Dame defense. Again, double tight end, split end right, flanker out to the left. Play action fake. Brown with the time, fires the pass, and it's broken up. Penalty marker on the play. It'll be against Ivory Covington.
Well, you know,
Curtis Jackson is the intended receiver down around the 20-yard line.
I can't fault Ivory Covington for a couple of reasons. There's no defense against a perfectly thrown ball and a perfectly run pass pattern. Covington's a little short guy. He sees the ball coming. In the frustration, he makes a hit just prior to the ball being there. Almost understandable.
Here's Jack Winters.
Pass interference on the defense. Spot foul at the first down.
Well, if Adams catches the ball, it's a first down at the spot. So Ivory Covington tried to keep him from doing it. And it's a first down at the spot at the 19.5-yard line.
Remember when they scored, Texas, they scored their touchdown in the opening quarter, they used the wide side of the field with a single receiver. The ball is on the left hash. And so I look for something to the right side.
7-3, Longhorns. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. A reminder that coming up at the half, the Ford Trucks halftime report with Paul Horning. And right now, most of the action centers around the Texas Longhorns in their offense, which has been rather prolific here because they've had the Irish defense on the playing field for quite some time. They have dominated play.
Well, as you pointed out early, Tony, the only way that you're going to help stymie Jim Brown from throwing the ball and being set is to put some pressure on him. And in order to do that, you have to revert to man-to-man coverage, which is dangerous, and get more blitz, more rush on the passer than the normal contingent, which is, say, 4-man rush. You got to get something like 5, 6, and 7. It's got to be a corner blitz, maybe a safety blitz, something to shake you up and give you a negative play. If Notre Dame doesn't do that, then the polish of the Texas offense throwing game, I think, is going to prove unbeatable.
First down and 10, Texas at the Notre Dame 20-yard line. Williams, the lone running back, slot to the right. Adams, the wide out. Davison, the slot on the right side. Jackson far out to the left. Brown back to throw. Seth looks for Jackson on the far side. Ball caught. And Jackson is finally knocked out of bounds on the far side at about the 13-yard line. Holding on for dear life was Ivory Covington.
Yeah. Laurent Cobbins is running over there, and he's saying, help, help. Ivory Covington, Johnny on the spot.
Picked up about 8. It'll be second down and 2. And right now, James Brown is the Riddler. He's just drilling. 11 out of 17, 144 yards and a touchdown.
Well, I tell you, he is really poised. I mean, he's been just as polished as there is.
Quick toss to the right, and Sean Mitchell cutting back, still on his feet, inside the 10. Spins and gets down to the 5 with an excellent run. Finally stopped by Ty Good in the defensive secondary.
Tony, the first thing that goes if you are tired or fatigued is your tackling. And that was evidence of it. That humidity has gotten to the defense. There's been a long drive. Tackling was very sloppy. They know it. They know it.
13 first downs for Texas, 5 in this quarter, 7 first downs for Notre Dame, all in the first quarter.
Watch for Ricky Williams. He is their stout 220-pound running back.
Another 10-play drive. 10th play in this drive. Handoff Williams off the right side, inside the 5, down to about the 3. Covered on the play by Kinnan Tatum, the middle linebacker for Notre Dame. So it'll be short yards inside the 5. They'll mark it at the 3-yard line. It'll be second down and goal to go from there.
Priest Holmes comes into the game as a running back, and I tell you what, he's got speed to burn.
Mitchell, 5 carries, 21 yards. Williams, 8 for 28. Texas, 13 rushes, 49 yards. Williams in the backfield along with Priest Holmes. Handoff to Holmes, down to the 5. Dives, he scores, touchdown. He went head over heels, but he wound up in the end zone with a football. 75-yard drive. 11 plays.
Well, Notre Dame, Melvin Danby was in on the play that flipped him, but to no avail. So because he was in the end zone. Pass. Get down to the goal line, ran in for the score.
And now, Bill Dawson will try to make it 14-3. The ball to be spotted at the 10-yard line. Scarborough is the holder. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. And it's 14-3, Texas. And once again, each week during the course of the football season, Westwood 1 will contribute $2,000 to the Notre Dame General Scholarship Fund in the name of a deserving student. This week's recipient is Brian Holt from Niles, Michigan. Brian is a Dean's List student majoring in economics. Well, Mosley is the man who is deep. Over on the far side, you have Autry Denson up around the 15-yard line. And on the near, that appears to be Johnny Sanders. So Texas in front. A 3-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Adams in the first quarter, and a 3-yard touchdown run by Priest Holmes in the second quarter. His second touchdown of the year. Did not play last year, was redshirted.
When Notre Dame kicked off from our left to the right, they had the wind at their back, and Sampson got it about 7-8 yards deep into the end zone. When Texas kicked off, of course, they fielded it about the 10-yard line. So now Texas has the wind at their back. We'll see where they go with it.
And from Katy, Texas, Chris Stockton, a freshman, 173-pounder, will be kicking off for the Longhorns. Bill Dawson hands the field goals and the points after touchdown. So Stockton ready, and so are the Irish. And the kick coming down, it'll come down to Mosley. Mosley driven into the end zone about 5 yards, and the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. Believe it or not, this is Notre Dame's only their third possession with 8.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It's only their third possession, and Tom, for them to start a series, it's their best field position, the 20-yard line.
Yes, remarkable. Plus, that defense was on the field. I remarked about it towards the end of that drive. And this is one of those games where, like it or not, you've got to get fresh people into the game, spell each other off. It's that important.
First down and 10 for Notre Dame. Mosley in the slot, Johnson the wide out to the right. High tandem for the Irish. And the handoff to Denson, and Denson does a little stutter step, did not hit the hole, and he got nailed at the 20-yard line.
Well, that was Tyson King on the tackle. What a tremendous move he made from the inside linebacker position. Tyson King making the tackle, 6 foot, 230-pound linebacker from El Campo, Texas.
Second down and 10 to go. Texas has had the ball for 31 plays, Notre Dame for 20 offensive plays. Mosley right, Malcolm Johnson left. Tight end Coretta to the right side. Play action fake. Paulus looking to throw. Rifles a pass near side. Grab made by Malcolm Johnson at about the 32-yard line. Had to go down to his knees to take that ball off the grass top. His second catch is good for a first down. He's become a good first down receiver, Tom.
Yes, and you make a point, Tony. That was not nearly a good throw. He really went down and scooped from the bottom up, which is what seasoned veterans sometimes do.
And that's Notre Dame's first down of the second quarter. Irish ball, first and 10 at the 32. High tandem slot to the right. Tight end is left. Quick toss right side. Denson sweeping. 30, 35, up to the 40. Still on his feet. Follows his blocker, Mark Edwards, and drives all the way up to about the 45 or 46.
Well, that was sheer speed on the part of Denson. When he got outside, he could turn the corner because that was pretty well blocked, but you made the point. Mark Edwards sustained it with the lead block.
So a 14-yard pickup and a Notre Dame first down up to the 46-yard line of the Irish. They trail 14-3.
It's a must drive for the Irish.
Rakai Nelson in as a wide out to the left. Zakia Champion in as the slot man. Tight end, Duplevich out to the right. Handoff right side. And it's Randy Kinder fighting to the 50. Still on his feet and into Texas territory down to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 6, and that makes it second down and 4 for Notre Dame.
Randy Kinder's a little rusty, no question about it, but he has blazing speed. If he gets daylight, he can burn you in a minute.
He missed the first 2 games because of a quad pull. He's carried today 5 times for 41 yards. That's better than 8 yards a pop. 6:45 left to go in the half. Notre Dame in Texas territory. Back to throw. Paulus looking. Over the middle. Pass caught for Plevich. And he's down at about the 31 or 32-yard line. As Ron Paulus goes to the big tight end. And he caught that ball at the 31, 1st and 10 Irish.
And that was exactly what Texas had hurt them with. A little inside fake. And then they get the tight end to square in. That was good for 16 yards.
So, Kreplevic with the catch. The number 2 receiver, his 9th catch of the year. 1st and 10, Notre Dame at the Texas 31. Longhorns with 5 up on the line of scrimmage.
I believe he's trying to audibilize because he doesn't like
Ron Paulus having trouble with the crowd. Takes the snap, runs the option left. Gets to the 30, fights his way down to about the, maybe the 26-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 yards. That'll leave it at 2nd down and 5. Penn State now 24-0 out in front of Temple. Aaron Harris, 2 touchdowns, 14 and 7 yards. Curtis Enos, a 33-yard touchdown run. Rutgers has scored and trails Virginia Tech 14-7 in the second. Virginia now leads 50-0 over Wake Forest in the second. Ohio State 21-0 over Pittsburgh in the first. No score yet, Alabama, Arkansas in the second quarter.
You're looking at 2 tight ends and a double flanker to the right now.
From the 26 to Texas. Paulus on the handoff, right side, and knifing through and getting down to about the 21-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a first down for Notre Dame at the 20.5-yard line. Good thrust on the right side by the tailback, Randy Kinder, and it's enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the Texas 20. And as you said, Tom, Notre Dame definitely needs a score here.
Well, they've been pretty solid all the way from the beginning of this drive, and so they got to finish it off. That makes a statement.
Nelson to the right, Mosley in the slot. 1 running back, and that is Mark Edwards. Tight end to the left side. Kinder becomes a wideout on the left side. Quick toss right side, Edwards. Trying to turn the corner, and he's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be very difficult for a guy like Mark Edwards, who does not have blazing speed, to turn a corner because the Texas defense just literally, Tom, ran him down.
That's right.
The play was well blocked. The play was well blocked, but the speed wasn't there.
Inside linebacker took a shortcut, headed him off at the pass. And remember, Mark Edwards was a little injured, did not practice much this week. Maybe not the guy to have running the ball wide.
Gain is only 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Double slot for the Irish this time. 1 running back. They're at the Texas 18-yard line. Here's the toss near side at the 20, down to the 15. Farmer 10, Farmer 5, Farmer touchdown! Robert Farmer taking the toss and going 18 yards for a score.
Well, there you go, Tony. That's the only reason that Lou Holtz keeps the option in. He kept it in because you're not thinking option. You're thinking defensive football and all the things that have been forced against you. That time, the end man on the line decided to take Paulus. Paulus kicked the ball. Everybody else was driven off. There was nobody to take the pitch man. Robert Farmer makes a nice finish of it.
Hunter Smith will hold, number 19.
So Robert Farmer, 18 yards around the left side for the score, and that cuts it now down to 14-9. 80-yard drive, 9 plays, and the Irish muscle their way for a score. Danson will try for the PAT. Hunter Smith, the holder, snap the spot, the kick up, and it is good. That's going to cut it down to 14-10. Timeout. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. Down up to the moment, we have had a turnover-free game, but we have had 11 penalties, 6 on Texas and 5 on Notre Dame.
Plus, we've had a lot of offense. More offense than we have defense.
Tomorrow on Westwood 1. At 12:45 Eastern, Rick Walker joins me up at Minneapolis, Minnesota for the unbeaten Green Bay Packers against the unbeaten Minnesota Vikings. And at 3:45 Eastern, the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills, who both took their lumps last week. Jim Kelly will not play at quarterback tomorrow for Buffalo because he's injured. Gus Johnson and Hall of Famer Jack Ham. So that's our NFL doubleheader tomorrow, Sunday, on Westwood 1.
Green Bay Packers undefeated, Minnesota undefeated. Well, Packers undefeated sounds bigger to me.
But they have had trouble winning at the Notre Dame the last 4 times they've played there, and every game has gone down to the wire.
Speaking of the wire, I think I got a feeling that we're going to see one here, right down to the wire.
Mike Scarborough on the far side and Curtis Jackson on the near. The deep man as Jimmy Sanson is set to kick off. Nor have we had a quarterback sack in this game. If you look at the stat sheet, Sanson with a kick. It'll come down and Jackson will take it at the 4. Cuts up the middle, cuts back to the right, gets to the 20, finds a little alley, up to the 25, 30, knocked down at the 31-yard line. And the stop made by Notre Dame's Bill Wagacy, a linebacker. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Texas at the 31. And the Irish have to find a way, Tom, to corral the Longhorns minus the aid of a penalty.
Texas really didn't hurt them running except for a couple of plays. The passing game hurt them because they really didn't get any pressure on Jim Brown. And Jim Brown has been a very poised, very polished guy back there. Everything's thrown on timing. I would expect that of a Makovic-coached team. And he's done an excellent job with it.
James Brown, a junior out of Beaumont, Texas. Back split, back to throw. Burt Berry on the rush pass to the near side, intended for Sean Mitchell. And just to let him know he's in the neighborhood, a little shoulder shot from Kinnan Tatum.
That was a rollout left. They were going to, it was only a decoy, make it look like they were going to throw deep to the left and then a throwback as the drag man came all the way across to the right and just didn't pan out.
Now, you'd think they were going to throw left because they had Michael Adams lined up on that left side as well.
Right.
And he's been their go-to guy. He comes out to the right this time, and Jackson goes out to the left. Matt Davis doesn't know where he's going to go. Now becomes a slot man. Nope, now he's going to go to the left side. He starts in motion. James Brown takes a look and says, "What are you doing, Matt?" Now we have Adams starting back as a flanker. There's all kinds of confusion out there, and Brown disgustedly throws the ball down on the ground.
Really a mix-up, you know.
Looked like a bunch of ants down. Nobody knew where they were going to go.
Delay on the offense.
Yeah, he couldn't get them all put together in formation. So it's too much time and a penalty.
Here comes Priest Holmes. He scored a touchdown on his first carry, 3 yards. Robert Farmer gets in, scores a touchdown on his first carry, 18 yards. So a 5-yard penalty, and that's going to make it 2nd down and 15. Now Davis coming back into the game. Joins Adams as they form a slot left. Backs are split. Here's the handoff and cutting back over the middle. No place to go. Knifing in to make the tackle on Priest Holmes was LaRon Cobbins, the senior linebacker out of Kansas City. So it'll be 3rd down and 15. And Tom, these are the ones that always scare you. 3rd and long.
Yes, that's true. The decision on the defense's part, too. Are we going to play man-to-man, take the chance of getting burned? We must if we're going to get any pressure. It looks like single free safety to me.
4 to 5 on 3rd down. James Brown in trouble. Here he's going to be sacked, the first sack of the game. He tried to backtrack, and when he turned around, there was number 13 from the home state of Texas. Yeah, Burt Berry out of Humble, Texas. And Burt Berry and the rest of the Irish defense wrap him up back at the 13-yard line of Texas. A loss of 13.
Little help there, too, from Ronaldo Wynn, putting some pressure on. That's the first time they really got to him, and it was a timely thing. Now they're in position, depending on where this punt is fielded.
And if it is fielded, Autry Denson, Notre Dame can make the punt return really adventurous. Denson standing at the 46. The punt by Schultes goes to the far side. Denson says he'll make the fair catch and does, all the way back around the 37-yard line. You can understand why none of his punts are ever returned, Tom. 50-yard punt. He makes you work to catch the football.
Oh, listen, so much hang time, you got time to prepare a meal before the guy catches it.
So Notre Dame has it at the 37 with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to play. Timeouts left. The Irish have 1. Texas has 2. 14-10. Longhorns out in front.
Be a big psychological thing for Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
Get one on the board before the end of the half.
I'll tell you why in a couple of moments, Tom. 1st and 10 at the 37. Mosley in motion. Quick toss, left side. Cutting back as Autry Denson, and Denson's going to get snowed under at about the line of scrimmage. Not much there for Autry on the cutback. Tom.
Yes.
Last 36 games, Texas 34-1-1 when they've taken the lead into the locker room at intermission.
Oh. No wonder it becomes statistically important.
Last 36 games. Second down and about 10 and a half. At the 37. Paula, straight drop, looks left, looks right, throws it out to Edwards. Edwards to the 40, and he's out of bounds at about the 42.
Ron Paulus does that about as well as you can. He looks down the field, looks left away from it, then comes back off to a little screen.
And he had a ton of time, Tom, and he was able to pick out Edwards, and Edwards certainly was not his prime receiver. But he was the safety valve, and that's going to be leaving at third down and about 5. And that was a straight drop for Ron Paulus.
I think he does his best work that way.
Denson, Edwards, the I tandem.
The crowd is now yelling for the Texas defense to take a stand.
They'll rush forward. They're coming with a blitz from the corner. And the handoff and getting through. Denson, and he's got the first down. They came with the corner blitz and an excellent second effort by Autry Denson, and he knifes his way to a first down up around the 48. Big third down play for Notre Dame. Irish at one time last week against Purdue, 8 for 9 on third down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Play action fake. Paulus back to throw. Near side. Kriplevich has got it and knocked out of bounds in front of the Texas bench. His second catch. He's down to the 41-yard line of the Longhorns. Very close to a first down.
That's a nice ball fake by Ron Paulus and a good throw afterwards. He's on the right side portion of the field. Threw that all the way to the left sideline. It's about a 30-yard throw on a straight line.
Well, Notre Dame will go double. Kriplevich is coming out. Coretta comes back in. Paulus 7 out of 10, 69 yards. Notre Dame will, I think this is the first time they've showed 3 wide receivers to the right, Tom.
Yes, look for something back to this side, tight end or fullback.
Second down and a yard to go. Play action fake. Here's the pass far side, and it's caught by Rakai Nelson. Nelson making the grab at the 29-yard line, and it's a first down. That's a 13-yard pickup. That's the second time that the Notre Dame receivers had go down to both knees, his nose on the ground, to make the catch. Johnson did it earlier. Nelson, the freshman, does it now.
They got to be smart here, the Irish do, in terms of the clock.
Yep.
You can use it just your own fashion, how many timeouts they have and how to use them.
About a minute left to go in the first half. 14-10.
There's a double flanker and a tight end to this side, but they're having trouble hearing.
Paulus on the handoff to Denson. Denson off the right side. 20, sideline, 10, down to the 5, and out of bounds at about the 3.
They broke a double flanker and a tight end to this side, so all you've got to the other side is just a corner and a safety man. The line blocked it clean. Denson breaks through. He's got 26 yards real quick and put them in position to make a score here.
Now he's run down by the free safety Chris Carter, and again a sample of the speed of the Texas Longhorns. Now the Irish have called a timeout. The clock would stop on the first down.
I'm not sure I follow you, Tony.
Well, the clock stops on the first down.
Okay.
They call the timeout. 47 seconds left. So they have no timeouts remaining now. Now the clock starts. First and goal from the 3. Paulus long count. Play action fake. Rolls to the right. End zone. Mark Edwards. Touchdown. 3-yard touchdown pass after a fake and a roll to the right by Ron Paulus. And Notre Dame goes 63 yards in 7 plays to overtake Texas 16-14 with 27 seconds left to go in the first half.
That's a well-conceived play. He's taking a little run fake to the tailback, and he bootlegs to the right. Meanwhile, the fullback slides into the flat. Pretty sure-handed guy, Mark Edwards. Not supposed to play today. All he did was score a touchdown to give them a chance to go in at the half of the lead.
And Sampson for the PAT. Snap, spot, kick up, and it's good. And Notre Dame has taken the lead by a score of 17-14. Timeout. Now this for Sylvania Lighting. Back-to-back touchdown drives by Notre Dame. 80 yards, 63 yards, and they have overtaken Texas. Longhorns at one time led 14-3, now down 17-14 with 27 seconds of playing time remaining.
Mike Scarborough, number 39, Curtis Jackson.
That kind of squelched the crowd noise a little bit, Tony. They were up in the bit when they were ahead, but right now it's quiet.
And a knuckler bouncing downfield, picked up at about the 25-yard line, up to the 30, and hog-tied about the 35 or 36. It'll be 1st and 10 for Texas at its own 36-yard line.
Only 22 seconds left on the clock before halftime. Notre Dame, of course, ahead 17, Texas 14.
And Texas has 2 timeouts left with 22 seconds to go. So the Longhorns with the ball at the 36.
See, I don't look for him within 22 seconds to go for some kind of bomb. I think he'd rather get it to some little scat back or a wide receiver, Mike Adams, and let them run with it.
Now Texas showing 3 wide receivers to the right, Brown from the shotgun, and there may be a penalty on the play. This snap from center barely got back to him. He had to reach out. It was like a little bit of a knuckler, just kind of floated back there. Then the penalty markers went down.
Dead ball, infraction on the offense. Please put 1 second back on this clock.
Well, I
22.
He didn't really spell out what the infraction was, but it's against the offense and a 5-yard penalty.
And the 8th penalty against Texas in the first half. And that can't make John Makovic any too happy.
No.
Because now they've got 69 and a half yards to go for a score.
You got the possibility of 4 receivers on this side.
Wide to the right, looking to throw. Brown to the near side. The pass is caught. Was he out of bounds or not?
No, he was
Grab is
inbounds.
made by Michael Adams, and that's going to be his 7th catch of the first half. And that's going to bring the ball up to the 49-yard line.
And you can see what they're angling at. They got 16 seconds on the clock. The ball is going to be spotted somewhere around the 50, 48-yard line of Texas. If they can hit one for 25, 30 yards, like that one, that play was good for 18 yards. That puts them in field goal range.
So now it is 1st down and 10 right around the 49-yard line. Here's Brown rolling out to the left once again. Got the time. Pass to the far side, and it is going to be out of bounds or not. Does he catch it out of bounds? Incomplete. And a good hit on the far side by Alan Rossum.
Got 9 seconds on the clock, and they still haven't used all their timeouts, but I look for something to widespread both sides of the field. Look for a tight end down the middle.
The 2 plays have taken a lot of time, Tom.
Yes, there were 27 seconds on the clock, and there are now 9, so that's 9 apiece. Just
out to the left, you got Adams, who's dangerous. You've got Scarborough, who's out there. Or Matt Davis, rather. Now Brian White is also out there. Here's Brown with a pass to the far side. Incomplete. Down around the 30-yard line. And covering on the play is Ty Good, the intended receiver being Matt Davis at about the 29 of the Irish. And so now that's going to set up 3rd down and still 10 yards to go with a ball at the 49-yard line of Texas and 4 seconds left.
Now this is where, if they've got one of the Hail Marys in their bag of tricks, this is where you pull it out. It doesn't do you any good to throw it short of the end zone here.
No disrespect, but I'd rather see a fail Mary.
A Hail Mary?
Yes.
That's a whole different faith.
I don't say I embrace it either. Davis in the slot, White out there along with Adams, rolling out to the left. Here's Brown. He's throwing it up long downfield. Pass is going to be deflected. What? Knocked down, incomplete. Everybody there. That was a jump ball play that wound up in the end zone. We have played a half with the score. Notre Dame 17, Texas 14. Now this for Weedy. And Tom Pagnon, those last 2 drives, Notre Dame really, they had 85 yards in the second quarter, 14 for Texas, and they almost matched Texas's passing 58-70. So the last 2 drives are really critical for the Irish.
They really were, and I thought that the option that was called when Robert Farmer was in there, went for the 18-yard score, was really a streak of genius for that one moment, because this has not been an option game. They came out of nowhere, and they were defending the wideouts, and therein got driven off. Bob Farmer made a nice run.
In his career, Robert Farmer's had one other play like that, and that was against Michigan State, and it turned out to be the winning touchdown. He took the swing pass going to the right and went 15 yards for the touchdown, which was a key touchdown in the game against Michigan State several years ago. And it was the same thing. Robert Farmer just got the ball. And we saw what Robert Farmer can really look like when he's on his game. Robert Farmer is a talented football player, and all that talent has never really surfaced.
That's right. He's been snake-bitten with some injuries, with some fumbles, but he's 5'11", 220 pounds, and given a little time and room, he can ramble.
Next, the second half kickoff, but first, this timeout for Buick.
For the 29th consecutive year, it's Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. It's time now for the second half.
We're going to pause for station identification. This is Westwood 1, the home of college football's national championship.
Paul O'Neill hits a home run. Yankees have a 1-0 lead over the Red Sox in the fourth inning at Yankee Stadium. This is WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station.
And if you cannot make it to New Orleans, Louisiana Superdome on January 2, Westwood 1 is going to be there with the national championship game because it will be played this year in the Sugar Bowl. And some team will say how sweet it is, or was. Irish on the playing field, the Texas Longhorns on the playing field. Notre Dame, of course, will get to have the football to start the second half. They won the toss, deferred. They'll get the second half kickoff. Penn State out in front of Temple, 31-0 in the third quarter. Virginia Tech and Rutgers 14-7 at the half. The Scarlet Knights putting up quite a battle. Virginia out in front of Wake Forest, 25-0. That's a halftime score. Remember, Texas and Virginia will play next week. Ohio State out in front of Pittsburgh, 42-0 in the second quarter. 21 first half, 21 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second thus far. Pepe Pearson, 3 touchdowns for the Buckeyes. He's their new star running back. And nothing on the board between Alabama and Arkansas as yet. That game being played down at, I believe, down at Fayetteville.
Notre Dame
17-14, Thomas. Notre Dame out in front.
Yes, and getting a chance to receive the ball because of their deferment early on in the first quarter. And again, Texas has the wind at their back this quarter, and will be kicking with it at their back. Last time it was about 5-6 yards deep into the end zone.
And Alan Rossum will return the kick because he's had a little bit of a breather. He is standing down around the goal line. Alan Rossum.
There's the rotation left for Texas, and he tries to keep the ball in that quadrant.
Yep. It'll send Rossum deep. He's not going to be able to run it out, so the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Irish at the 20-yard line.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it much, Tony, but Texas was making some adjustments at halftime, too. One of them, I think, has to be defense. They only showed a 4-front, 3 linebacker, and they could not stop in crucial times the run game. So I'll be anxious to see what kind of an adjustment they do make.
So the third quarter is underway. Notre Dame with the ball, 1st down and 10 at its 20-yard line. The Irish nursing a 3-point lead. Ron Paulus, quick toss right side at the 20, 25, getting up to about the 30, and finally dragged out of bounds up around the 33-yard line. Nice run that looked like Randy Kinder.
It was, and it was a well-blocked play, but the speed to get there was the key.
And again, no, it was Autry Denton. And again, the Irish were able to get outside, and once they get outside, they have shown that they can motor as well.
Chris Carter was the guy that made the tackle for the Texas Longhorns.
Pick up of 13 yards and a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33. 3 wide receivers left. Mark Edwards, the lone running back for Notre Dame. Play action fake, pump fake looking, throwing the ball long down the near side for Rakai Nelson. Makes the grab, but he's out of bounds.
Well, I really don't understand. They had 3 receivers, trips to the left side. He was going for a little short when he flagged the ball, which means turn it up and go for the deep. But the secondary of Texas is absolutely excellent. They run step for step. The strength of their defense is their secondary and pass covering.
And their secondary is so quick. Bryant Westbrook, Trey Thomas, Chris Carter, Taji Allen. Here's Triplevich, wide to the left on 2nd down and 10. Slot goes to the right. Notre Dame showing an eye tandem this time. And Paulus on the handoff off the right side. Denson cuts back, gets past the 35 and up to about the 38-yard line. Nice cutback run by Autry Denson. And that'll be a gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go for a first down.
Crucial. 3rd down, 3rd and 4.
Denson with 11 carries and 88 yards. Texas tried to strip the ball away, but they weren't able to do so.
You notice the absence of Mark Edwards' runs. They haven't had many.
Edwards now becomes the lone running back as Notre Dame shows double slot. Texas will rush 4. Linebackers up close. Now they're going to 5 it up on the line of scrimmage. Paulus back to throw. Looks. Fires a pass near side, incomplete. Intended for Malcolm Johnson.
The timing was off on that, Tony. When he went back to the pocket to throw, the receiver had already made his cut and was waiting. That's no good because then the secondary man, after he backpedals, can close on the ball. Even if it had been a good throw, I believe that the defender would have broken it up. Now the Irish forced to punt.
Otter Smith has punted one time. It was 54 yards. The ever-dangerous Michael Adams down around the 20, make that the 18-yard line. Adams back to receive. Here's the punt over on the far side. They're going to make Adams run for it. Bounces. He picks it up at the 15. Is hit at the 20-yard line. Deke Cooper making the tackle for Notre Dame. The young man out of Evansville, Indiana. 47-yard punt. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. It'll be first down and 10 for Texas at its own 21-yard line. Down by 3, 17-14. Johnny Sanders, injured in the first half, is out with a knee injury. That means that Benny Gilbo has to step up. He's 6'2", 296 pounds, a sophomore from Opelousas, Louisiana. He and Sanders had battled for that strong safety spot. And now it's up to Benny to get the job done.
Notre Dame defense has been tough against the run.
But they've got to corral James Brown. They have to put pressure on James Brown.
He's too good. He's too good to let sit in there.
Because their wideouts, Curtis Jackson, Matt Davis, and especially Michael Adams, are going to burn you.
Let's see what kind of an adjustment they made defensively here.
Adams comes out to the near side. He'll be taken by Rawson. Jackson out on the far side working against Ivory Covington. And the handoff and a run off the right side. It's going to be good for 9 yards. Sean Mitchell, the senior out of Boston, who's been held pretty much in check, getting 9 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
That's the same play that Priest Holmes scored on. It's not a sweep. It's into a split end, and it winds up being an off tackle, but there's so much area out there, and it was well blocked.
2nd down and a yard to go for quarterback James Brown. Ricky Williams lines up as the fullback. Mitchell is the tailback. And fumble the ball, scramble for it, loose ball, and Brown falls on it and gets nailed by Burt Berry.
Well, it looked to me like Jimmy Brown, for all the money, was going to hand the ball off. Got mishandled, no question about that. Minus 12 yards.
Lost about 12 yards on the play. Now it's 3rd down and 13. And these are the ones that always scare you. Never forget Miami of Florida, 3rd and 33. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare.
Threw that raindrop up in the air. Look out for a square in. That's what their favorite pattern on these kinds of downs are.
Put in right flanker out to the left, and Brown back to throw. Looks under pressure, hit sack. Back at the 6. Fumble the ball, but the play was dead. It was recovered by Ronaldo Wynn. That's the 2nd time the Irish have been able to get into the backfield and sack James Brown. And when a moment ago, Tom, they had 2nd down and 1 at the 30-yard line. Now they got 4th down and a half acre. They're back at their own 9.
This is great return country. Autry Denson's in for the return. That time, incidentally, Melvin Dansby helped Ronaldo Wynn put the pressure on the squeeze.
And Schultes, standing about 5 yards deep in the end zone, rushes on. He gets the punt off. And that punt will hit at the 50, bounce into Notre Dame territory inside the 40, down around the 35, the 34-yard line. But the Irish will have it, let's call it the 35, 1st and 10, a 51-yard punt.
You hear coaches talk all the time about the kicking game because it's the surest gainer in football if properly executed. You're talking about a guy that's standing in his end zone, or at least his own 5-yard line, roots the ball, gets a favorable roll, nobody fielding it, so he's gained about 60 yards. That's a big advantage.
Well, I don't think we're going to see a better punter.
Probably not.
The rest of the year. First and 10, Notre Dame, their second possession of the third quarter. The ball at the 35-yard line. Quick toss, right side, Autry Denton, sweeping, caught from behind and dragged down for a loss.
Well, they fired a backside linebacker, Texas did. In other words, it's a pitch to the right side. The backside linebacker over the left guard sees him pull, zips through that opening, had enough foot speed to chase him down at an angle.
Loss of a couple. It'll be second down and 12 at the 33. And the sky's starting to lighten up just a little bit here. And that heat could be a factor late in the game.
I really believe that.
Slot to the left. Johnson the wide out. Mosley in the slot. Triplevich wide to the right. Paulus the quarterback. Play action fake. Looking, under pressure. Throws the ball away.
Run action pass. Very difficult to fake the ball, then set up and look downfield and pick out your receiver. Nobody was open anyhow, but it takes too much time, and the pressure of the defense got to him.
Ray Mosier putting the pressure on, the 270-pounder coming in from the left side, and it's now third down and a dozen.
Now, he doesn't necessarily want to put the ball in the air, so you got to look for little flanker screens, reverses. You got to think the way Lou Holtz thinks if you're trying to defend him. Look out for here's a double slot, one on each side. Watch the fullback on a screen then.
Robert Farmer is in, flanking Ron Paulus. Back to throw, screen near side, pass is incomplete. Pass by Paulus was a poor pass thrown at the feet of Robert Farmer. And Ron Paulus now 0 for 4 to start the second half.
That's the best defensive series I've seen Texas play. The adjustments that they made, I can't tell you, but
Texas knew that was coming because as soon as Robert Farmer went out in the flat, that defensive back was coming up on him.
That's right. And things fall into the category of being predictable. Everybody is, no question about it.
So now with fourth down, Hunter Smith to punt for the second time in the second half and gets the punt off. Bearcat signal for by Michael Adams, and he makes it down around the 27-yard line. So, a 40-yard punt, no return, a timeout. Now this for Sylvania Lighting. Tony Roberts along with Tom Pagnon, Paul Horning at Texas Stadium. Actually, Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium. Capacity crowd here. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Sky starting to brighten up a little bit, and you can start to feel the heat and humidity. Texas with a football, first and 10 at its own 27-yard line. Notre Dame had the ball only 4 possessions in the first half. They've now had it twice here in the third quarter. Hunter Smith punted only 1 time in the first half. He has punted twice in the third quarter. So Texas has made some defensive adjustments as the Irish have not been able to move the football.
And by the same token, they finally got to Jim Brown in that second quarter, that Notre Dame rush. Ronaldo in from the outside and along with the linebackers, LaRon Cobbins and Kenning Tatum.
Double flanker, 1 running back. Short drop, throw far side, catch made. Curtis Jackson's got it, and he's dragged down by Ivory Covington around the 35-yard line. His third catch of the day.
That's exactly what a quarterback looks for. He looks for his wideout. If the wideout is being covered by a back that's off about 7-8 yards and does a back pedal when the ball is snapped, he took a 1-2-3 step drop, the quarterback, and rifled the ball. You know, if you're on the money and you catch the ball and lean forward, you're going to gain 5 or 6.
Got 9. It'll be second down and 1. Jackson wide left, Adams out to the right once again. The tight end Fitzgerald comes in motion. He was a wingman on the left side. Starts upfield. Handoff up the middle. Ricky Williams, 40, 45. Hitting up better by Benny Gilbo at about the 45-yard line and stumbles forward to around the 47.
Tony, I was focused on, I believe it was Corey Minor, and he was so thinking pass that his rush had him halfway into the secondary as the back was going through the hole. And that's what happens when you use the pass to set up your run.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line of Texas. Adams now in the slot. Tight end out to the right. Here's a handoff coming off the right side. Cutting back is Williams, and Williams gets up to the 49-yard line. And a penalty marker on the play. There's going to be a personal foul against Benny Gilball.
That's a
late hit.
That's a thin call, but it deserved to be called because he was down, and it could have been avoided.
Personal foul against the Irish.
Oh, that's a tough 15 against the Irish.
Yep. That's going to bring the ball all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Dead ball. Personal foul on a defense. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Well, he was all the way down. That was a thin call. He was on the way down to making the hit. He didn't hit him after he was down. He was on the way down to help on the tackle. Slot to the left. Blanker out to the right. That's Curtis Jackson. Williams alone running back. Tight end is Fitzgerald on the right side. And Brown with a short drop fires the pass. There's nobody there. Well, Curtis Jackson went downfield, and Brown was expecting him down around the 30-yard line, and there wasn't anybody there. Threw that one to a ghost.
I believe he was throwing the hitch, only the hitcher wasn't in tune.
That's going to make it second down and 10 at the Irish 35. So with Texas trailing by 3, now in Notre Dame territory, they are threatening. Adams wide to the right. Check that left. Here's the toss to Sean Mitchell. Mitchell finds an opening, gets through the hole, and stumbles through down to about the 30-yard line.
John Mitchell,
So Mitchell picks up about 5 or 6 on the play. That'll leave it at third down and still about 4 to go for a first down at the 30-yard line.
This isn't one of those I told you so, Tony. I don't want to do that, but in the beginning of the game, I recalled back to a year ago, and I said Texas at that time could not stop the Irish run game, nor could they run against them. Right now, they're doing both.
Third down and about 4 yards to go for a first down. Double wide out, man in motion, the tight end. Back to throw Brown, under pressure, fires the pass. Just as he threw the ball, Tom, somebody from Notre Dame, either Dan Fee or Alton Maiden, hit him around the ankle.
Alton Maiden, he did a circle.
And the ball nosed into the turf, and with fourth down coming up, Bill Dawson will try a field goal. This will be a 47-yard field goal from the hash mark on the far side. Dawson's longest, 52 yards against New Mexico State. And he's done that 3 times. New Mexico State, Texas Tech, and Houston. 47-yard field goal, hash mark far side. Bill Dawson for Texas. The snap, the spot, the kick. It is up, and it is good. Boy, that's Dawson with a 47-yard field goal. Cuts the Notre Tech. That ties the game at 17-17. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. And this is why Texas is going to be a very, very good football team, Tom. Their kicking game is in order with their punter and with their place kicker.
Well, I was going to say that, how many times can a kid step on the field from a hash, kick a 47-yard field goal that ties the game? Pretty well done.
So now Notre Dame will receive for the second time in this quarter. Irish unable to move the football in the first half of this period. 8 minutes and 9 seconds showing on the clock.
And a little sun showing on the field.
Yep. And it's going to get warmer.
It's going to take its toll. There's no question about it. That is a hot, humid day that had been curbed by an overcast.
17 all.
New ball game, as they say.
And Chris Stockton has it teed up at the 35-yard line. And the kick, it is high, it is deep. Mosley drifting back, will not run it out. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line. So the Texas kicking game manifests itself with a 47-yard field goal and a kick that drives Emmett Mosley about 8 yards deep into the end zone. And for the first time today, Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium is bathed in sunshine.
Let's see if the Irish go to their bread and butter.
Autry Denson, Mark Edwards, the I tandem. Notre Dame first and 10 at its own 20-yard line. Handoff goes to Edwards. Edwards into the secondary up to about the 24-yard line. He will gain about 4, and that'll be second down and 6.
Little fullback trap. We hadn't seen Mark Edwards as a ball carrier in that first half. Apparently they said, hey, if he's well enough to play, then he's well enough to be called upon.
Almost a 5-yard gain. Second down and long. About 5.5 to go for a first down. Johnson goes out to the right along with Sakia Champion.
You're looking at a 4-3 alignment by Texas.
Tight end for Notre Dame is on the left side. Handoff goes to Mark Edwards, and he is stopped at about the 24.
That same play, Tony. Now, they may be doing that for a reason. They ran fullback trap once, got 5 yards, came right back, repeated it, got stymied, and the play that ties with that is trap option that gets you wide, or trap option pass.
Third down and 5, and let's see what the call will be here. And the crowd getting back into this game, what with Texas stopping Notre Dame the first time, then coming back with a field goal to tie the game at 17.
They got 2 tight ends in and a double flanker to the right with 1 back in the backfield.
Handoff left side, little opening, 25-30, first down, Denson down the sideline, pushed out of bounds from behind at about the 37-yard line.
Well, that's what raw speed does for you. You had a little opening off the left side. The defender from the inside couldn't catch him, reached out, but not before Autry picks up 12 really important yards, keeping the drive alive.
And Denson flirting with a 100-yard game, 13 carries for 98 yards. He has 3 100-yard games, and all against the service academies. 111 against Army, 115 Navy, 109 against the Air Force.
They spelled him off a little bit. No, he's still in at tailback.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Slot goes to the right. Tight end to the left. Handoff Edwards up the middle. Not much there. Breaks the tackle. Cuts to the right and still picks up a couple of more yards.
Again, fullback trap that really got cluttered. Mark Edwards had that tenacity to look off to his right or left, opening to the right, and slide there.
So it's going to be a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and 4. Yeah, one of the officials got knocked down on the play, right where Edwards got tackled. Now Denson getting a breather as Randy Kinder enters the game for Notre Dame. Second down and 4 Irish at their own 44. Game tied at 17. Texas scored first in the first quarter. They scored first here in the third. Handoff Kinder off the right side, and Kinder looks like he may have bolted for a first down. Got it up to about the 48. Had to get a little past the 48-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. That should be a first down for Notre Dame.
This is exactly what Notre Dame wants to do, and Texas has to make their adjustment because right now they have picked up 2 consecutive first downs all on the ground.
First and 10 Notre Dame. Kinder now becomes a wide receiver out to the left. Slot to the right. Rakai Nelson is in as the wide out on the far side. 1 back offense for the Irish. Handoff up the middle. Robert Farmer, not much there. Gain of about a yard up to the 50-yard line. Gained a yard and a half, actually. So it'll be second down and long. 8.5 to go for a first down for Notre Dame. 5.5 minutes left to go in the period. Only scoring so far a 47-yard field goal by Phil Dawson of Texas to tie the game at 17. Malcolm Johnson out to the right, joined by Mosley in the slot. Kriplevich to the near side as a wideout. Second and 8.5 for a first down. Option right. Ron Paulus on the carry. Pitches out. And the hit made, I believe, was on Randy Kinder, and he got crushed.
Well, he was always zeroed in on trying to field the ball, and he got tremendous support out of Brian Westbrook coming out of the left corner slot and just clobbered him, caught him flush.
And he fumbled that ball out of bounds. He got smacked.
But that's the kind of play that ignites your defense. play for Notre Dame. Get the crowd out of it.
Texas crowd back in the ball game. Ron Paulus play action fake on the draw. Steps out of the sack, but now he goes down for the first time.
Well, they got the Texas team all juiced up.
Yep.
They put some pressure on him. It was a run-action pass, and they were barreling in. No time for that fake.
So now with fourth down coming up, and the ball back at the Irish 41, Texas has gained tremendous momentum. They have the sunshine as well, and Hunter Smith back to punt, and he gets it off. I don't know if it was partially blocked or not. It bounces upfield inside the 30 and down at about the 27-yard line.
We had a young man, number 82 from Texas.
That's one of the tight ends. That's Derek Lewis.
He was right in the face of that block kick, and he missed it, or maybe he did get a piece of it. Shortened it anyhow.
So Texas with momentum, and the game tied at 17. The Longhorns have the football first and 10 at the 27.
You've said it all along, Tony, so have I. Now the sun is out full force. Third and fourth quarters where it's going to take a toll.
4:22 left to go in the third quarter. Jackson out to the left. Adams out to the right with Davis in the slot. High tandem and Brown. Play action fake. Being chased. Gets to the 25. Gets to the 30. And gets hit in the open field tackle at about the 31. Big rush was put on by LaRon Cobbins.
Cobbins had the blitz between the guard and tackle gap. It got picked up late, but he came at such an angle, and he couldn't have helped himself because he had to go there. James Brown saw it all, and with that vision and his speed, got to the outside.
Gain of 4.5. It'll be second down, and about 5.5 to go for a first down. Here's the handoff to Sean Mitchell. Mitchell on his sweep for the outside. Gets to the 30, 35, gets to the 40. Is tackled by Jarvis Edison at the Notre Dame 45 punt. There's a penalty marker in the backfield back at the 31-yard line. In all probability, it's coming back. A holding call against Texas.
In a way, that's kind of unfortunate. Well, it is for Texas. It's fortunate for the Irish. They're going to call holding. But that play was designed to go like it was going to be off tackle left. He dipped it outside, had enough speed to make it stick. Someplace in there was a foul. They've called it.
Holding call against the Longhorns, and that's going to bring them back to the 21-yard line.
And you can look at the Irish, Tony, walking to their position now and tell that they're a little bit spent.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down. On the snap.
Ninth penalty against Texas on this afternoon. And that sets up a second down and 16 with the ball at the 21-yard line. Adams out to the right. Jackson out to the left. Brown, play action fake. Pressured by Burt Berry. Fires upfield, incomplete. So now it's going to be third down and 16.
The last few times that James Brown has thrown the ball hasn't been nearly as accurate as he did in the first quarter, and I don't quite understand that. When it took too long, he had some pressure, had people open, but could not put the ball on the money.
At one time, Texas was 4 of 5. They are now 4 of 9 on third down conversions.
Now, in these long gainers, they need 12 yards for the first down.
Well, they need 17.
17. He looked for the square in over the middle. Uh-oh.
Handoff up the middle. Ricky Williams, tackled by Burt Berry and by Benny Gilboa. They make the stop up around the 33-yard line. That sets up fourth down and about 4.5 to go. And that means that Schultes will come into punt for the Texas Longhorns.
Seems like penalties have stymied both of these offenses moving down the field.
And Autry Denson is the man who is deep, standing at the Notre Dame 27-yard line. Schultes at the 19-yard line of Texas takes the belt-high snap and sends the ball spiraling upfield. Taken by Denson at the 20. At the 21-yard line, penalty marker on the play, and it's going to be a penalty against Deke Cooper, blocking from behind. And that's going to put Notre Dame in a hole back at the 11-yard line. 47-yard punt, about a 2-yard return. But that block from behind occurred at the 21-yard line. The Irish are going to be backed up in a hole once again.
It must be the greatest of temptations, Tony, to see your kid or your teammate ready to return a punt, somebody ready to tackle, give him a little shove from behind.
So the ball is at the 11, 1st and 10 for Notre Dame.
Pushing it back during the return. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
The ball at the 11. Temperature on the playing field approaching 100. It's about 97 right now.
Well, this is the old Lombardiism. Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Well, let's face it. Notre Dame practiced down at Culver, and it was hot down there.
Sure they have.
Here's Mosley in motion from flanker left to the far side. Play action fake, toss out to Mosley. Gets to the 10, gets to the 50, gets to the 20, is dragged down around the 22, and that plays good for about a dozen yards and a first down.
That got him out of jail, gave him a little real estate to work with. I would not go to that well too often, though.
Not with their quickness and with their penchant for gambling. Ball is almost at the 23, 1st and 10. Malcolm Johnson in as the wideout near side. Denton and Edwards are the eye tandem for Notre Dame. Flanker right in motion near side, Sakia champion. And the handoff goes, and driving through is Denton as he gets up past the 25 to about the 27. That's going to be a gain of 3, maybe 4. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 to go for a first down. 102 yards on 14 carries right now. Autry Denton has his 4th 100-yard rushing game. Kriplevich comes out to the near side, joined by Denton in the slot. Edwards is the lone running back. Double slot for Notre Dame. 2nd down, about 5. Give Edwards off the right side, pulling his way, still on his feet, and he's crashed his way to a first down, past the 35 up to about the 36-yard line.
He is a load. I tell you, he always comes out the other end. He always finishes a play, gains whatever he gains, tack on the length of his body. A lot of heart in Mark Edwards.
1st and 10, Notre Dame at its own 36. Out to the right, Rakai Nelson. They show slot to the right. Double tight end, 1 running back.
Oh.
Did Mike Rosenthal move?
Well, that's what they're claiming, but it's hard to say. Mark Edwards.
Nobody threw a penalty marker.
It's going to be against Texas.
Well, no official threw the penalty marker or blew a whistle.
Offside. The defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Marked the 10th penalty against Texas in this game. 71 yards.
Mark Edwards, that time, walked out of the backfield, came up and became the left end, the tight end.
Yeah. Nelson and Mosley, the wideouts now, with Denton, the lone running back.
And Jamie Spencer, replacing Mark, is up at the tight end to the left.
Ron Paulus waiting for the snap from Kaczynski. Hands it off right side, and Denton sneaks through, and he picks up about 4 yards on the play. Up to about the 45-yard line. Didn't look like he was going to make very much, but managed to keep his balance and move forward and picked up about 4. It's going to be 2nd down and a yard to go for a first down.
Autry Denson is so quick on his cuts.
Yes.
Great balance and the vision. And he'll get to the opening and slash as he does it.
And if he had Randy Kinder's speed, wow.
Wow. Of course, if I had Randy,
we'd suit you up, Coach. 2nd and 1. Double tight end, double flanker. Handoff Denson, up the middle, upended. Excellent defensive play. Excellent defensive play. That was by the Texas Longhorns.
That was a penetration by number 50.
That's Tyson King, the inside linebacker.
He's made some great plays today.
3rd down and 1. When the 4th quarter gets underway, we played 3. Game tied at 17. Now this for State Farm. After 3 quarters, Ron Paulus 10 out of 17, although only 1 of 5 in this quarter, 98 yards and a touchdown. James Brown 13 out of 26. 171 yards and a touchdown. Meanwhile, Notre Dame with 20 first downs, Texas 16. The Irish 209 yards on the ground, 98 through the air, 307 total. Texas 61 yards rushing, 171 passing, 232 total.
Well, this is where teams really got to reach down and grab for all they can, because the elements out there, the heat, the humidity, they need a big 3rd and 1 first down.
Edwards, Denson, the I tandem. Double tight end, flanker to the left. That's Mosley. Quarterback sneak right off left guard. Quick count right behind Jeremy Akers. Ron Paulus, the quarterback, getting the first down.
Boy, Akers did a super job on it, Tony, as you pointed out. He just got off of the mark and drove his legs, got it underneath his man, and got some movement where Ron Paulus could fall in behind.
Other games today, Penn State and the Laffer 41-0 at Temple. Fourth quarter, Rutgers holding out against Virginia Tech. Hokies lead 17-14 in the third. Virginia having its way with Wake Forest 32-0 in the third. Ohio State 52-0 over Pittsburgh at the half. Alabama 7-0 over Arkansas in the third. Here it is 17-17 in the fourth. 3 wide receivers left, handoff to Mark Edwards, and Edwards gets a couple of yards to about the 47-yard line.
That's Aaron Humphrey. He's a freshman. He's an outside defender, outside linebacker or defensive end. They've listed him both. Closed down, was unblocked, and made the tackle for just a short gain.
Second down and long, 8 yards to go for a first down. The ball is at the Notre Dame 48. Johnson to the left. Zakia Champion in the slot. Edwards and Denson, the I tandem. Kreplevic, the tight end right. Handoff Denson off the left side. Hit from the backside, not going anywhere. Again, penetration by the Texas defense, and the Irish are looking at 3rd down and long.
Also, the Texas defense is just swarming. I mean, they smell the possibility, and they're reacting to it. Notre Dame very tired, limping off that time. I was trying to catch the number of one of Notre Dame.
Zakia Champion.
Well, it was a bigger player. It was another one that I was watching limp off. I mean, a bigger size player.
Mosley in the slot along with Johnson. 3rd down and 8. Irish at their own 48-yard line. Paulus 1 for 5 in the second half.
Motion by the running back.
Back to throw. Light right side down to Kreplevic. And Kreplevic got turned around. He looked inside. The pass was outside. And that's going to set up 4th down and another Notre Dame punt.
We said it's going to go down to the wire, and it sure looks like it. Here we are at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 13-something up on the clock, 13:03, 17-17 tie. Yeah, it's a wire. At the wire.
Well, right now, Hunter Smith is standing at his 33-yard line. Michael Adams down at the 10-yard line of the Texas Longhorns. One hopper to Smith and gets the punt off. Off the side of his foot, it's going to go out of bounds.
Boy, they could have used a good punt, the Irish should have. But when you're on the right hash, that's what you guard against, the shank.
17-yard punt. Timeout. Now this for Visa. I'm Tony Roberts along with Tom Pagna at Texas Memorial Stadium. 13 minutes to go in the game, and Texas with the ball in good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Tonight on Westwood 1, top-ranked Nebraska will try to duplicate its huge victory at Lincoln last year against the Sun Devils of Arizona State. That game being played at Tempe. 9:45 our airtime. That's Eastern Daylight. Joel Myers and Fran Kersey will be there.
You got Melvin Dansby and Corey Bennett over the nose now.
1st and 10. Handoff coming off the left side. Sean Mitchell gets to the 40-yard line and gets bumped out of bounds at about the 40.
He picked up about 5 or 6 yards, and it was a quick count. Notre Dame's defense really wasn't set that time.
LaRon Cobbins making the hit along with Ivory Covington. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Corey Bennett's normally a backup for Melvin Dansby. They're both in there at the same time trying to spell each other off, and they'll get fresh people in, I'm sure, in this fourth quarter so crucial.
2nd down and 4 yards to go. Slot right, wide out left is Curtis Jackson. James Brown at quarterback. His tight end is on the left side. Dropping back to throw. Short drop. Quick throw. Tipped and almost intercepted. That pass was tipped, and it was almost picked off by Kinnan Tatum.
I'm not sure. I believe it was Ronaldo Wynn that got a hand up in the air and just tipped the ball.
Maybe if he doesn't tip it,
yeah,
we've got an interception.
Could be.
So now it is 3rd down and 4. And Priest Holmes enters the game. The senior out of San Antonio. 4 of 10 for Texas on 3rd down. They've missed their last 5. And Notre Dame is no better than 4 and 10. Back to throw. Brown with the time. Short dump over the middle. Catch made. Got the 1st down.
Little tight end delay again from the slot. The inside man drives off. The next receiver delays, then comes underneath, just picks up a little jump shot for 5 or 6 yards. All they needed. Actually, +7.
1st and 10, Texas at their own 48-yard line. 17-17 our score. 12.5 minutes to go in the game. Jackson out to the left. Handoff inside. 50 down to the 45, 40. It's Ricky Williams still on his feet and dragged down at about the 26-yard line. Nice run by Ricky Williams. Several Notre Dame defenders had a shot at him, but no one brought him down, and he rambles to the 26 for a 1st down. He picks up 26 yards.
Well, this is so crucial now, and you look at the Notre Dame defense. They're very tired. There have been no 3 and outs for them. They got their hands on their hip. They're a game bunch. You can't ever count them out. They could turn it around with 1 play, but they are hanging.
13 carries, 87 yards for Williams. Irish coming on the blitz. Mitchell off the right side. Shakes the tackler. 20, outside, inside, down to the 10, and a 1st down.
That's that little counter play where they pull the backside guard and tackle up and through the hole. It's off tackle to the right. Little counter step by the running back. Nice blocking. He followed it well. A tired defensive Notre Dame unit trying to pursue.
1st down and 10 at the 10.5-yard line. Texas looking for the go-ahead score. They once led 14-3. The Irish went ahead 17-14. Texas tied it at 17, and now they're at the 10.5-yard line of Notre Dame. Fitzgerald, the tight end, a wingman in motion. Handoff up the middle, big opening. Ricky Williams down to the 1.
They've had great success with that. It's a quick-hitting trap play right up the middle. And you're looking at a very tired Notre Dame defense that can hardly muscle up.
Alton Maiden being given a breather as David Twist comes into the game. So now it is very close to 1st and goal to go. The change will come in from the sideline, and official says inches.
It's interesting, isn't it, Tony? That ball is not upright, vertical. It's turned at an angle, and that's the rule of the game. However the ball lands is how it is set.
2nd down and inches inside the 1-yard line for Texas. Ryan Feeberger, the 1st man out of the huddle. Priest Holmes along with Ricky Williams in the backfield for Texas. Double tight end, wingman on the left side. Wingman Fitzgerald in motion right. Handoff right side, Ricky Williams, touchdown. Texas leads 23-17. 65 yards and 7 plays for the Longhorns. Now Dawson for the PAT. Snap the spot, the kick, it's up and it's good. 24-17, Texas. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Tinactin, by Buick, by the U.S. Navy, Wheaties, State Farm, and Ford Trucks. And right now, Texas out in front with their 2nd score of the 2nd half.
Tony, I just want to remark that this is the side now, 4th quarter. Notre Dame will get a chance to return this. They haven't all day had a return because the wind was either at Texas's back or they just didn't have the opportunity. They will here. And it's one of the things that their special teams does best.
And right now it is Emmett Mosley who is deep for the Irish, as Texas is set to kick off with Chris Stockton. Notre Dame moving left-right. We're going to pause for station identification. This is Westwood 1, the home of college football's national championship.
Red Sox leading the Yankees 6-2 in the fifth inning. Later on here on the Fan, the Mets and Phillies. This is WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station.
Well, Thomas, I think you might call this gut check time.
Oh, yes. You're down by 7 points, 10:53 in the last quarter. You're receiving a kickoff.
Momentum's on the other guy's side. The crowd's on the other guy's side. You're playing in the other guy's backyard.
And the weather.
And you're playing with the other guy's football.
Other than that, everything's perfect. Looks like they're moving to the left.
High short kick. It's coming down. It's going to be taken up there at the 30-yard line. Fumbled, and Notre Dame, I believe, is recovered at about the 32 or 33. I'm not sure if that was Benny Gilbo or not. Nope, it wasn't. 28. That was Ken Berry, the fullback.
That's a pretty good place to start, 32-yard line. I take it back. Notre Dame did return one just like that. It was a high one against the wind. They did virtually the same thing.
First and 10 with the ball at the 32-yard line. Ron Paulus lines him up. Autry Denson at tailback. Slot to the left, tight end to the right. Play action fake, and Paulus back to throw. Fires the pass far side, and it is caught on the far side. Nice catch by Emmett Mosley, and that thing came within a whisker of getting picked off.
Well, he threw it exactly where it had to be, low and outside.
But did you see Chris Carter, how fast he closed?
Yes. Good secondary of Texas.
And a heck of a catch by Emmett Mosley. And a first down up around the 48-yard line. A gain of about 16. First and 10, slot to the right. Paulus at quarterback, Kaczynski the center. Handoff right side, little opening. Here's Denson trying to get to the outside, cuts back against the grain, moves into Texas territory, and knifes his way down to the 46-yard line. Good run by Autry Denson. Tom looked for a moment like he wasn't going to get anything at all.
Yeah, he made something out of that, no question about it. It was stymied with a hole, and he read it to the outside, just went forward. Tyson King, one of the guys in on the tackle for Texas.
Gain of about 6. It'll be second and 4. Rakai Nelson has come into the game, along with Mosley at the slot. Nelson the wide out left. Second down and 4 yards to go for a first down. Texas stacks the line of scrimmage defensively. Handoff Edwards into the secondary. He has pulled his way for a first down to the Texas 39-yard line.
They run that fullback up the middle, and they trap block it, and they'll block it straight up as well as anybody. He's been shut off most of the day, but Mark Edwards just got a sizable chunk there.
First and 10, Notre Dame at the Texas 39. Longhorns lead 24-17. Edwards, 41 yards and 11 carries. Denson, 112 yards and 18 carries. They're the eye tandem right now for Notre Dame. Nelson wide to the right. Play action fake, back to throw, pass to the far side, deflected down. Deflected, and ball hit the turf just beyond the line of scrimmage. Big rush put on by Chris Akins, the 290-pound nose guard from Paris, Texas. Second down and 10. Johnson in with Mosley. That means there's a good chance Notre Dame's going to throw the football. Mosley left, Johnson goes out to the right.
Double tight end, flanker on each side, left and right. One back.
Denson, the lone running back, on second and 10. Paulus takes the handoff, gives it to Denson, and Denson is tripped up. And again, it is Tyson King. He has had one heck of a game today, Coach.
He really did. You know, that time he actually didn't tackle him, but he moved his own man that he was trying to block him into the running back and knocked him down. Tyson King.
So the gain is only 3, and now it becomes third down and long. 7 to go with the ball at the Longhorn 36. Edwards getting a breather. as Robert Farmer comes into the game for Notre Dame. Lou Holtz hoping to get some fresh legs in there.
Remember, they ran an option with him there last time, and he scored.
Double slot. They ran the option, and Ron Paulus, and boy, and you know who stopped it again? Tyson King.
Yeah, but
enough to play out.
They made the adjustment at halftime. They said, let's let Robert Farmer get covered. Let's make the quarterback the runner, which is what they did.
Well, it didn't work. It worked the first time for a touchdown, not this time, and Notre Dame again is going to be forced to punt.
Well, I got to admire Texas's intelligence in approaching that. Always take away the most dangerous runner. And Ron Paulus, as good as he is, and I like him, is not a great runner.
Hunter Smith at the 50-yard line. Going to throw the pass down the right side, intended for Deke Cooper. It's going to be incomplete. Notre Dame faked the punt. And Hunter Smith, who was a quarterback in high school, threw the ball down the right sideline, but Texas was not fooled. Threw that ball out of the end zone practically, Coach.
I hate to be a second guesser. I guess I wouldn't have called it had it been me. I would have called something that gave me an opportunity to either get the first down or go ahead and punt it and force them to make a mistake inside their own 10.
Timeout with a score 24-17 Texas. This is Notre Dame football on Westwood 1. First and 10 after the Irish go for it on a fake punt and a long pass down the right sideline. And it was one of those plays where either you make it to make the catch, you got a touchdown, or you give the ball up at the 36-yard line, which they did. And now Texas has it first and 10 in good field position with momentum on their side. And the way they played that last series of downs, Tom, Longhorns are going to be tough to stop here.
Well, I was going to say Notre Dame knows, because time is 7:48, that's not a lot of time. You might get one, possibly two possessions again. So they have to shut Texas down with 3 and out. And if they don't, if there's any kind of a sustained drive by Texas, then the odds become very remote for Notre Dame.
Mitchell left, Ricky Williams right. Handoff Mitchell, sweeping right. Pressure, chased by Corey Minor, dragged down at about the 32-yard line. So Texas trying to run wide, found out they couldn't do it that time. Good penetration by Corey Minor, the linebacker, and down goes Mitchell for a loss of about 3. That'll leave it at 2nd down and 13.
The one thing we knew about Notre Dame's defense is they did have great team speed. They can get outside. You're not going to run outside them. You're not going to run through them that many times. It's a very tired defense that's been taxed. But nevertheless, they have, if they want to win the game, have to turn them down with just 3 tries.
We'll have to force a turnover here somewhere along the way,
yes.
Coach.
Or 3 and out.
Slot to the left. One running back for James Brown. Play action fake, rolls to the right, looking to throw, under pressure, fires a sidearm pass, intercepted, picked off by LaRon Cobbins. And all because of pressure on the quarterback by Ronaldo Wynn.
That was a funny call for Texas because they were playing a pretty decent football game. All of a sudden, they decide to fake left with a counter and bootleg the quarterback. He's got virtually nobody to throw to, tries to force one in there, hits him on the arm, bounces in the air, and an alert defensive back, or Ronaldo Wynn, forces the thing.
There it is. Ronaldo Wynn with pressure, and LaRon Cobbins with the interception.
Right, he had 1 foot in, which is all you need in college football. That's a big break, bigger than anybody can imagine.
First down and 10 with the ball at the Texas 35-yard line. Now it's gut check time.
Double flanker to the right, and 2 tight ends are in the game.
Handoff on the counter off the left side. Autry Denson dances to the 30 and hit as he gets to the 29-yard line. Chris Carter, the safety, coming up to make the tackle on the play. But Autry Denson weaving his way for about maybe 6 yards or so. They'll mark it at the 29-yard line of Texas on the hash mark far side. Give him 6, 2nd down and 4. Turnover in the game thus far. Denson and Edwards, the I tandem. Double tight end for the Irish. Handoff Edwards. Edwards inside the 15. Checked at the 25. Down to about the 22. Puts his head down. Keeps those knees churning. Hit by a couple of Longhorns, but gets the first down at about the 22.
Oh, you talk about gut check time, Tony. That's the fullback, and he is a throwback to some of the old classics. It was just a fullback off-tackle play, a direct handoff, kind of a semicircle route. And when he hit the line of scrimmage, he was level with the ground, grinding it out.
24th first down for the Irish. 20 for Texas. But the Longhorns lead 24-17. Quick toss, right side. Denson 20. Denson to the outside. Shakes a tackler. 15. And has to step out of bounds at about the 12 or 13-yard line. He did a pretty good job of giving it that limp leg, Tom.
He is elusive. He's got great running style from the standpoint of he's got a gear that'll slow him down and then put him into high gear with a step. He has run the ball now 21 times for 130 total yards. That's a good day. That's a big day.
Zakia Champion and Rakai Nelson in there, Tom, and I'll bet you $100 if they run the ball.
Looks like a rollout left. They'll lead the blocking along with the two I-backs.
Second down and a yard to go. Why not run the ball? Edwards, right side, down to the 10. Almost down to about the 5, inside the 5, maybe down to the 4.
Tell you what, Mark Edwards for the first 4 yards is a steamroller. He gets out of the blocks. Big, 235-pound rugged guy. All-around football player.
First down and goal to go, Notre Dame. They had a similar situation in the first half, Tom, and had to settle for a field goal. That will not do it this time.
No, that's right. They're down by 7 points. They need the whole banana and maybe even a 2-point extra point.
Luke Pettigrew is in that offensive right tackle for Notre Dame. Quick toss left side, Denson down to the 5 and gets smothered at about the 3.
That's number 46 for Texas. Beautiful play in the inside linebacker.
That's Dusty Renfro.
Is that who that is? Dusty Renfro, 46.
Gain of a yard. It's going to be second down and goal to go from the 4. Now the field has been shortened, Tom, and Randy Kinder is coming to the game now for Notre Dame. A little bit quicker than Autry Denson. Second and goal from the 4. Handoff Edwards off the right side. Still on his feet. Dives. Did he break the plane? Yes or no? He's down to the half-yard line.
Boy, that's a tough call, Tony. I don't think he ever touched the ground.
I don't think he did either.
I believe his knee was resting on a body strewn in front of him.
If that's the case, then it should be a touchdown because the ball broke the plane.
Right. You can somersault over him. You can do anything as long as you don't touch your knee on the ground.
All right, now is it going to be a quick con quarterback sneak with Ron Paulus going in?
I would think that's safe enough.
Edwards going to the sideline. Jamie Spencer in at fullback. My guess is Ron Paulus on the call. Right off left guard. Takes the step, straight ahead, and tries to get in. Does he break the plane?
I don't think he did.
Well,
I don't believe he broke the plane.
they're going to go for it. They have to go for it.
No choice.
With 3:42 showing on the clock.
And they've either got to think in terms of 1 point or 2 point. Extra point.
Well, they'd go for the 1, Tom, I'm sure.
Since the tiebreaker's in, it kind of negates that decision, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Ball still inches away from the goal line. Almost in the middle of the playing field. 75,000 plus on their feet here at Texas Stadium.
The tailback is Mark Edwards.
Edwards, the tailback. Quarterback is Paulus.
Oh, the left tackle blew it. Left tackle jump. Offensive Notre Dame left tackle jump.
Oh, that's going to make it fourth down and goal to go from the 5.
That's what it'll be. That changes the call, too. You can't think in terms of a pure run. That's tough on a young man. You got a crowd noise. You're anxious. That's what he's calling.
Ball start.
Okay, this is for all the marbles.
Fourth down, goal to go from 5.5 out.
Now Autry Denson is in at tailback. Mark Edwards at fullback. Just a little wing of Mosley to the right.
Mosley, the slot man, in motion to the near side. Paulus on the roll. Here's the toss. Denson, 10, 5, end zone touchdown.
That was a beautiful...
Autry Denson from 6 yards out as Ron Paulus takes it, runs the option with a reverse spin, tosses the ball out to Autry Denson, dives into the end zone, Notre Dame 35 yards in 8 plays, and now it's up to Jimmy Sanson to tie it up.
That was a beautiful piece of running by Autry Denson because there was a defender, and I believe it was Tyson King that broke through, had an angle on him. Denson turned it on as he turned the corner, saw the goal line in sight, and just absolutely leveled his body to get in.
2:54 left in the game. In regulation, that is. Hunter Smith, the holder. Snap, spot, kick, up. Tie it up at 24.
24 and 2 minutes and 54 seconds left.
Now a timeout, and this for Sylvania Lighting. I'm Tony Roberts along with Tom Pagna. Twice Notre Dame has been put in a situation with 4th down and maybe the game riding on the play. And, well, they missed it the first time with a fake punt by Hunter Smith and a long pass down to Deke Cooper in the end zone. But this time with 4th down and 5.5 to go, it was Autry Denson sneaking in from 5.5 yards. Actually, he took the toss around the 10-yard line, and Tommy, he managed to get into the end zone to tie it up at 24.
You know, Tony, it shows you something, the character of a team, no matter what the end result is. Notre Dame had the ability to come back, and as much maligned as the option play has been, it's scored 2 touchdowns, 2 catch-up touchdowns today for them. That was a clutch one because it was 4th and 6. Now Notre Dame kicking off has got the wind at their back. Texas has not returned one when they've had the wind at their back.
So the Longhorns set to receive with 2:54 left to go. Sanson with a kick, high and deep, and it will go past Mike Scarborough out of the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line. Today's game brought to you by Prime Star, Sears, Visa, Sylvania Lighting, Courtyard by Marriott, and by Dairy Management. Down and 10 with Longhorns. 9 of the 11 kickoffs have been downed in the end zone. That's 9 of the 11 by both teams. Texas, 3 timeouts remaining. Notre Dame with 3 timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 at the 20. James Brown hands it off. Mitchell trying to come to the check that at Williams on the outside, and he is dragged down from behind at about the 27-yard line. Nice run by Ricky Williams, who picks up about 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 3. And more important, it also stops the clock with 2:48 going. Williams, 104 yards on 16 carries.
A little counter tray move there. He's out of the eye, but they pull the backside guard and tackle to get lead interference, and he followed them well. No question about it.
Jackson wide to the right. Adams in the slot. One running back. It is Ricky Williams. Gets the call up the middle. Did he get the first down? Very close to it.
He'll be within inches of it, Tony, I believe, if he is indeed short.
Well, the only difference that play makes, Tom, is if he didn't get the first down, that means they got to run the ball one more time. It is the first down.
Well, I said going in, a year ago they couldn't run against Notre Dame, and they couldn't stop Notre Dame. They did a little bit of both this year around.
Ball on the left hash mark. Again, Jackson and Adams wide to the right. Derek Lewis, the tight end on the left side. Fitzgerald, the tight end right. One running back. James Brown rolling out to the right, looking to throw. Gonna run. Cuts back against the grain. Gets hit again, and gets knocked down at about the 33-yard line. Maybe got 3-4 at the very most.
Well, it was a misfired pass. Not James Brown's fault necessarily, but one that misfired that set up that last touchdown.
Melvin Dansby injured for Notre Dame.
Oh, my, they can ill afford to lose such a great player. Melvin has given them great rush. He's up on both feet and walking, but it's...
Well, he's got to come out now.
Yeah, that's right.
Got to come out for at least a play. So Dansby, he's up now. He's prancing a little bit. He'll be back in a moment.
He'll be all right, sure.
Darnell Smith and Corey Bennett are the backups for Melvin Dansby. And let's see, is that Michael Adams coming to the sideline? Nope, it's Derek Lewis, the tight end. Right now it is Corey Bennett in the game. Adams 6 for 76. Not caught anything in the second half. Here's the toss and coming up and getting a past the 36-yard line. That's Sean Mitchell. Mitchell will come to the sideline. He picks up about 3. And that'll leave it at 3rd down and maybe about 3.5 yards to go for a first down. Time, Tom. Time is winding down. 1:25 to go.
I was going to say, Tony, perhaps we get an opportunity we can just go over quickly. If it does go into a tie, the new rules for collegiate football. We get a chance to talk about it.
3rd down and 3.5 to go. The Irish coming on a blitz, and James Brown wants to call a timeout. So Texas burns 1. They have 2 left. It stops the clock with 69 seconds left. Talking about Phil Dawson, the field goal kicker par excellence for the Texas Longhorns. His longest field goal this year has been 52. He duplicated that twice last year, hitting 52-yarders.
But Tony, if you're going to make you've got 1:09 on the clock. If you're going to make a run at it, all you really need to do is get him into field goal range.
Yep.
You're going to have to take a risk and put the ball in the air. I don't know whether that's their intention or not, but certainly that's their strong suit. They have not thrown a deep pass today. That's not his style. They picked and pecked. But Jimmy Brown has had a pretty decent day, almost 50%, 14 out of 29 for 178 yards.
Well, we'll see what they have in mind, because the ball right now is at the 36-yard line of Texas with 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for a first down. And what Notre Dame has to do, Tom, above all, is contain.
Absolutely. You cannot have a breakdown here.
Well, here we go with Adams against Allen Rossum, one-on-one, near side. No help for Rossum on this play. Double flanker, looking. Adams going over the middle. Pass incomplete. And on that particular play, Adams ran right into LaRon Cobbins as Cobbins was moving toward the line of scrimmage. Adams is running a crossing pattern, never got an opportunity to catch the football. They were dragging Adams along the line of scrimmage. Now Autry Denson standing at the Notre Dame 32-yard line. I'll get back a little further, Autry. This guy can punt the football. Schultz is standing at the 22 of Texas. Angles the ball toward the near side, and the ball will come out of bounds. The kick will be a short one. And Notre Dame gets a break with 59 seconds left. A 21-yard punt that gives the Irish the football, 1st and 10 at their own 40, I believe it'll be the 43-yard line.
As well as that kid has punted for Texas, Tony, when he really needed to boom one, he kind of let him down. Because with a 20 to 30-yard gain by Notre Dame, 59 seconds on the clock, they're in field goal position, and the wind is at their back.
Johnson to the left. Mosley out to the right. Denson, the tailback. Play action fake. Paulus on the roll. Down the right sideline. Intended for Denson, thrown away. Difficult throw at best for Ron Paulus because of the way he turned around.
They had enough time to utilize your timeouts. You don't have to hit the bomb. You can hit that little drag. That's what Texas was trying to do. Little check-throughs, little 5-6-yard pumps where the ball carrier, after he receives the ball, then tacks on his game.
7 seconds used up on that play. 52 left. Rakai Nelson wide left. Mosley in the slot. Triplevich, the tight end right. Paulus on the draw. Denson to the 50. Right side, 45. Down to the 40. And dragged down at about the 35-yard line. First down will stop the clock momentarily. Notre Dame has 3 timeouts left. 22-yard run on the play.
Little draw. Everybody thought pass. Got an opening over the right tackle. Denson squeaked through it.
Mosley out. Sakia champion in the game. 158 yards on 24 carries for Denson. Here's Paulus. Dropping back to throw. Screen to the near side. Pass caught by Triplevich. 25, 24. Notre Dame now finally calling a timeout. Why didn't they call a timeout after Denson got the first down to stop the clock?
I don't know. Hard to figure.
Now, see, There, they needed a timeout. That would have stopped the clock. They'd have still had a ton of time. They've wasted about 20 seconds, Tom. They're down to 20 seconds now.
They've got to preserve one more timeout. They have to preserve one.
Tom, they've got 2 timeouts left.
Yes.
They'd have had a ton of time to get a play off with a timeout. The ball is at the 33-yard line of the Texas Longhorns.
Tack 17 onto that. You got a 50-yarder. Anything they gain's a bonus. The wind again at their back.
Yep. Green Bay, Minnesota, Battle of Unbeatens tomorrow in Westwood 1, NFL doubleheader. Game 1, 12:45 Eastern Daylight. I'll be there with Rick Walker, the former Redskin, and then Jack Ham, the Hall of Famer, and Gus Johnson. They're up in Buffalo for Dallas and Buffalo, 3:45 Eastern Daylight.
Notre Dame's next opponent is Ohio State. It's tough to think about them now, but they're up on Pittsburgh about 65-0.
Double wide out. High tandem. Second down and long. 20 seconds left. Wallace back to throw. Pump fakes. Throws long. Downfield. Overthrows the intended receiver.
Little hitch and go. He had the man open.
Overthrows Bobby Brown.
The pump had everybody fooled.
Oh. They won't get it any more open than that, Coach.
14 seconds on the clock. Is that what that says?
Yep. It was there. All for the taking. Third down and 9. Again, the I tandem. Slot to the left. Kreplevic to tight end right. Texas coming, rushing everywhere. Paulus for the far side. Brow caught at the 20-yard line. Notre Dame's got to call a timeout quickly to stop the clock with 5 seconds left. Well,
they've got a shot at it.
They've got a shot at it now. The ball will be placed on the hash mark far side at the 21-yard line, Coach. Notre Dame has called a timeout. 5 seconds left. You have a right-footed soccer-style kicker. Is that where you want the ball? Yes. Say yes, Tom.
Yes, Tom. 21-yard line. Add 17 yards. 38-yard kick. And as Tony points out, if you're a soccer style, and the ball will be on the left hash.
That's what I was getting at, Coach.
Yeah, it is. It's more favorable for him.
Why does it take you so long to agree with me?
Because I'm slow, Tony, basically. I get focused in on one thing, and that's all I can see. I got a good poker hand. You want to play blackjack.
Well, I hope in the relaxation period that Notre Dame had last night that Lou Holt said, Jim, there's 5 seconds left in this game.
I visualize.
The score is 24-24. We just completed a pass. The ball's at the 21-yard line, and you're in there. I know you're a freshman, but you're going to kick the field goal that's going to win it. Let's see what happens. Either that or it's going to be overtime, folks, unless they block it and return it for a score. It'll be a 39-yard kick. Hash mark far side. All kinds of pressure on the freshman. 39-yard kick, snap, spot, kick is up in the air. It is good! And time has run out, and the Irish have won it. 27-24.
The luck of the Irish stood a little longer.
Gotta love it.
Big win for them, Tony.
Jimmy Sanson with a 39-yard field goal as time ran out to give Notre Dame a 27-24 victory over Texas. Now this is for Buick. Tony Roberts along with Tom Pagner, our Prime Star of the game, and I got to give it to the kid from Scottsdale, Arizona. Tom, what tremendous pressure on a freshman kicker in this environment to make a 39-yard field goal to win it.
Big game, big moment. You're right. All the pressure in the world, nobody could have faulted him had he missed it, but he stepped up and knocked it through.
Jimmy Sanson, if he doesn't make the kick, then they go back to overtime. The ball is placed on the 25-yard line for each team until somebody doesn't score.
It's probably one of the best football games, total football games we've seen in a long while.
Whoever paid whatever for a ticket to this game got their money's worth.
Yes.
And our tough Acton play at a game. And I got to give it to Malcolm Johnson. Malcolm Johnson got open, and Ron Paulus struggled through the entire second half, but fired a bullet that Johnson caught at the 21-yard line, and that gave Notre Dame an opportunity to get in position to win the football game.
I think that's a great call, Tony. It really is.